Oh, we're live. That was quick.
Okay, now you say the thing about Universal's hotels
Yes.
again.
They, I don't remember.
They don't remember.
Are we good on frame?
We're
Oh.
perfect.
They, yeah, no. Apparently, the parks have been a lot of walk-ons right now. I'm not going. I'm not doing it.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. I'm funnier when it's
Go
spontaneous.
Nintendo. Go on Johnson.
That's close to the Pokemon name this week,
Go
kind of.
piano.
You
all right.
are addicted to the recording, man. As soon as the recording
Yeah.
happens,
Yeah, it's been a
he
long
turns
time since I've
on. He
interrupted.
turns on.
Go Nintendo Podcast, webisode 977, the Dondozo Podcast.
Is he like? Never mind.
No, come on, let's do it.
Is his what are their abilities like? Spaghettis and meatball.
Get ready, people. It's going to be a great
What's
episode.
his name? Don Johnson.
Spicy meatball.
You are Deux prompting us to do fake laughs before the show, and now Nicky Hill's hitting hard. Didn't even give him a chance.
These are real laughs I'm giving him. This is funny stuff.
Dondozo, my brain.
Dongozo.
Doe.
That was a
Dongozo?
joke.
There's no G's in there.
Dondozo?
Dondozo
Dozo.
or Dondozo.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dondozo.
This Pokemon is a glutton, but it's bad at
That's
getting.
funny.
It's a glutton, but it's bad at getting food.
Glutton. See, spaghetti's and meatball.
Yeah, there you go. It
It's all
teams
right
up
there.
with Tatsugiri to catch prey. They
I
are
know.
39 feet tall.
Oh my God! Really? Oh well, it looked like it could be a big Pokemon in the picture. Okay, all right.
Just about 500 pounds.
Story checks out.
Kaiju status approaching.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
It's not.
I'm pretty sure Dondozo.
Well, technically, you go ahead.
is like probably. I mean, with a name like that, I would assume that they could be Charles Martinet's like right hand
Don't start with this
muscle or
Martinet
whatever,
stuff already.
Hey, it's me, Charles Martinet. You meet my friend Dondozo.
Sorry.
They're male and female. Their category is big catfish. Abilities include Oblivious, where the Pokemon is oblivious,
Big catfish. Sleep with the fishes.
keeping it from being infatuated, falling for taunts, or being affected by Intimidate, and unaware. When attacking, the Pokemon ignores the target's stat changes.
Man,
This is the end of the Pokemon section.
those
Thanks,
are some
Mom,
good
man.
abilities. I feel like I could be a Pokemon. Unaware and oblivious.
I was just making sure I got my laugh. I was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
say,
Very good.
Oh,
I mean, I thought that was
was a
kind
good
of
one.
funny. Like,
Wait,
I don't
you
think it
said
deserved
prepare
a
your
fake laugh.
laughs.
Yeah, for when it needs to be fake. That was funny, was it not? I mean,
That's like the rehearsal.
Jeez,
Did
I
you see
followed the
rehearsal?
rules and I still get in trouble.
no,
Most
you don't
recent
know it. You
rehearsal?
don't know the rules. You don't understand the rules. I'm sorry.
Laugh when it's funny. Fake laugh when it's not funny.
Yeah.
You're like
Okay,
a-
you got the rules.
Okay.
Okay,
you're-
perfect.
You're like a regular Nathan Fielder with that. He's like, if you feel
What a
like you want to
compliment.
laugh, and then everybody's
Yeah.
laughing, and he's like, I mean, I don't want you to overdo it.
Wow, I
exactly.
get it now. That's
Yeah.
exactly what happened in that
Yeah.
episode. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Smash
I-
that subscribe.
I was gonna say you should jiggle that chord. I think it's quiet.
But
Try it
seriously, I don't want to. I'm not.
Sure, whatever.
I don't want to harp all day on it. But did you really not think that joke was funny a little bit? Like even a little? It's
Yeah,
okay if you didn't.
I thought it was a little funny, but I did a
Okay,
fake laugh to
okay.
make it seem funnier.
All right, yeah, that
Jeez.
works. I just didn't know if it was like not funny at all because
And
I
as-
thought it was a little funny.
As we all know, talking about why something is funny makes it that
It
much
can
funnier.
make it funnier if it's not funny to begin with.
And I was gonna say kaiju. Technically, my anime character in Fortnite is a kaiju, so he's way shorter than 49 feet tall. So, but you're
that's his.
you're the arbiter.
That's how small he is. Like
Yeah.
he's Fortnite size, but he's considered kaiju because he can turn from human into monster.
That is correct.
Oh, interesting.
That is what-
is not correct.
What's the season? What's the theme? I thought it was like Star Wars or something.
It is, but I have my own character. My character goes from season to season.
Yeah,
You
you can
don't
be
buy a
whatever
character and only use it
skin
in
you
one
want.
What
season.
character do you have?
The main character from Kaiju number 8. Him being Kaiju number 8.
Oh, he's the
Hibi no Kafka. Kafka Himido. As Darth Vader says. He says it all wrong.
He's
but
no Kafka. Kafka's the best one.
DD mega doo doo.
Anyway,
Franz Kafka?
Mom Brain is here.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Hans and
Metamorphosis,
Franz.
right?
How are you doing, Mom Brain?
Ooh.
I'm okay.
Do Michaels is here.
Uku.
How are you doing?
Uku.
And people shouted it from the rooftops. People were praying for it. There were prayer circles. People were calling out to their gods, and it has happened. Nicky Hill has returned, people. He's back. He's back.
Thanks.
How,
Glad to be here.
how are you feeling, Nicky Hill?
What is it? It's been 2 weeks.
Is that what I sound like?
It has
Wow.
been a couple weeks. Yeah, I believe so.
I'm glad to be here. I didn't know people were screaming it from rooftops, but
Every
get
day.
inside. The weather's chilly.
At nights, you open your windows, you can hear the people yelling it. Nicky Hill from the mountaintops. Mountain Hill from the Nicky tops.
Tilltop.
Josh Grobot is here.
Well, thank
Josh,
you.
my old college friend, how are you?
A big hello to my fans.
What have you been up to, buddy?
I have a Malatro addiction.
I've heard my cousin was just talking about it last night.
Minecraft, bro.
Oh, playing some Minecraft? My mom was getting back into Minecraft.
Because of the movie?
That was a really great story.
Not because of the movie. She did say she wanted to see the movie, though. And now it's streaming at home. I don't think it's on streaming services at no additional cost, but I believe you can do a video on demand rental if you would like. So go ahead.
Why don't you ask George?
George, have you seen the Minecraft movie? George is here.
No, skibbity, no.
Skibbity.
I don't
watching
want
Lime-
to be here.
Limecraft.
I was going to ask what your favorite block in Minecraft is, George.
Limestone.
Hey, George, you got it. You can't get one by George. Good for you, George.
What? Was that a test? You're laughing at me. It's my favorite stone.
Never a test. It's just two
Oh, you said
friends
I
going back
got
and
it.
forth.
Of course I know it. It's my favorite stone.
Okay, I understand. I understand. Mom Brain, what do you use limestone for? You seem like someone who would know what it's used in or for, what you do with it.
I sprinkle it on desserts. I love lime.
I think it's pretty soft. So I'm not sure like what I think it's often like ground up and used for like conditioning soil and whatnot, but I don't know for sure.
Should we get an AI bot to join us on this show as a permanent? We could
No.
ask them questions and see what they say.
No, it'll
Okay.
take over.
Limestone, you
That
say?
is stupid.
Yeah. We
That
got.
is stupid.
Okay,
That
Josh.
is stupid.
Josh, we
I'm
won't.
the star of the show.
Nikki Hill says no. Josh says no. We won't do it. We won't do it. Let me say hello to the Discord. I'm not even open. One time. Let me say hello to SD and Retsuza and Darmani and Malakalo with that beautiful picture of Nikki Hill and Retsuza and Roth and Vachi and Rotzel and Sneaker Hacks and Malakalo and Gecko Kitsune and whoever else I didn't see. Thanks for joining us. Hello, Ice Dilbert and Zikamuto and Eli. Happy to have you all here. It's lovely to see you. And we got some things to talk about before we get into the regular news.
Let's have a little fun.
Let's have a little fun. I don't remember what happened to regular news, but I remember a couple things. So there's some big things to talk about. But first, we have a message from Casper, who you might remember as one of the voice actors in Rat Hat Redemption 2 that we mentioned the other week. We had a little bit of a discussion, and they wanted, we got into a whole, we didn't get into anything. We were having a conversation via email, but it was in response to the game key card situation. And they say, might want to avoid bringing up this perspective if Nikki Hill is around. In parentheses, love you, Nicholas Mountain. So they just wanted to throw their 2 cents in because we had a big discussion about it last
Their
week.
name is Nicholas Mountain?
Love you, Nicholas Mountain.
There's no comma.
Oh, okay. The way
You shouldn't have said that. You ruined it. Here's there.
I want to just, I didn't get to listen to the whole podcast, but I did hear you say, I'm so glad Nikki Hill's not here so I
Mhm.
can talk about this. But then Deux raised a couple of questions that I thought were like questions that I had in the past, and you answered them and you didn't get upset. So thank you, Deux, for bringing that up and clarifying things. And
Just text me your questions for him moving forward, and I'll ask him.
My
and then
favorite part
he'll-
of this was
he'll be
I didn't
fine.
listen to the whole podcast.
No,
and
but I
then
listened
go-
to that part, and that was the part. That's the part that we're all parting about.
Well, get ready because this is another part.
Oh boy.
The big issue with game key cards is that because they are less egregious and undesirable than code and box, a lot more publishers seem to be going that route which means a lot less true physical releases. A big thing for game collectors is complete on cart. Some people even go as far as seeking out specific versions of a cart that is the most up to date with all DLCs and updates. Back of carts usually having what version it is. Example: Metroid Dread. Blah, blah, blah. Besides Nintendo and CD Projekt, many publishers who previously released complete on-cart releases on Switch 1 are now announcing game key cards for Switch 2. I'm going to stop saying cart. They're saying cart, but they're all cards. I just don't want to confuse people. For physical game collecting, game key card is just another nail in the coffin of the already severely hindered physical media market. As I am personally stepping away from collecting, except for Zelda and Metroid, I'm mostly okay with game key cards because I can still resell them after I'm done playing or lend them to a friend. But I do understand why they are upsetting and definitely not happy about it. You are right to say they are better than Code and Box, but Code and Box was not as heavily adopted by publishers as game key cards currently are. And I think that's the main reason why the outcry is this big. For instance, when Switch 1 launched, I don't think there was a single Code and Box release. I might be wrong, though. I honestly don't remember. Thank you, Casper. I appreciate it. Yeah. At Switch 2 launch, there are the vast majority of publishers are going with game key cards. That is very true. And it seems like if we're basing things on how it looks at Switch 2 launch, most third-party publishers will opt for the game key card route. That is also true. But we'll have to see how things play out.
Game key card or digital, right? But as far as retail, game key card, right?
Every single game that ever comes out for Switch or Switch 2 will be a digital release.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say every. 99.99999999999. There has been, I can think of
Allegedly.
2 releases that were physical only, and then one eventually did go digital. I can only think of one that has never been digital. But so yeah, if you're a physical game collector, what you're seeing with Switch 2 right now with game key cards from third parties is upsetting because it does appear that most third parties will go that route. And again, we don't know all the reasons as to why. We can speculate. We've heard rumors that there are only 2 game card sizes on Switch 2, a small size and a big size. And publishers have no wiggle room really in there, so they can't fit their game on the smaller card and they don't want to pay for the bigger card. Or perhaps the bigger card simply still isn't big enough to accommodate a full Switch 2 release, so they have to go game key card or code in box. So they opt for game key card because they see that as the better of the 2 options. They could be doing it because of cost, because maybe their game would fit on a game key card of the larger size, the 64 gig, but that's more expensive to do than a smaller game card, or obviously digital, or code in box. So that could be another reason. But yeah,
do we know the prices of these things though?
How much a
Some
publisher
of the
is paying?
Some of the games that are going to be available that way, yeah.
What are you asking? How much the publisher pays or how much we pay?
How much we would be paying?
Prices are the same or whatever. Like
60 to 70.
50, 60, 70. Yeah.
80.
Nobody's done 80 but Nintendo right now.
Yeah, I mean, it could be an opportunity for companies to kind of make out a little bit more if they like up the price and then also lower the price of the cost.
Well, they up the price on Switch 1 with physical because it's a game card that costs them more than a disc would anyway. So
Right.
there was usually, they was called the Switch tax. They didn't call it that. Fans call it that because
The Switch.
you might pay
the
$10
Switch
more
tax.
on Switch because of the game card, because it costs the publisher more. But does it really cost them $10 more? No. But there's a whole story there to be said about like, cost isn't just like the game card costs this much and they're paying more. You know, there's overhead, there's fees, there's the retailer fee. Like there's a whole chain of command there that that makes for slim margins.
That's something I wanted to talk about. I got an email, I think, or an advertisement. John C. Reilly is releasing an album or something, and he's going to be performing. He's going on tour or something like that.
He told me he does a duet with Sierra Ferrell on one of them.
I don't know who
because
Sierra Ferrell
she's great.
is. Will Ferrell?
You're sidetracking him.
Sorry,
So-
continue.
Anyway, sorry. It came up the price. It said $72, and I was like, I don't know, $72 seems like a lot. And then I went down, and it did the breakdown of 50 whatever dollars plus the taxes and
Yep.
fees plus the convenience charge, and I was like, this is how you get me.
Mhm.
And this is like I want expenses and charges and everything to be up front. But then when I saw
Well,
it,
didn't they
I
just pass that law?
oh, is that what it is? A law?
I think they did.
Because I always thought like this is stupid. You think you're getting a deal, and then all the other charges that go on top of it, you end up paying a lot more than what you expect. So now they tell you up front, and then when you look at the breakdown, so at first I was upset, and then I felt better rather than feeling good about the price and then getting upset. You feeling all right over here?
Yes.
Getting a little heated from this conversation.
Crazy Colonel messaged me and said, Jesus, you guys, I just started listening, and 5 minutes in, you guys have been relentless with art ideas. Well, that's great. I'm glad we're giving you stuff. I don't know what you're thinking about.
You
but-
just reminded me that I sent Rummy to TikTok today of somebody who gives you a whole plan for how to fart max.
Fart maxing. The kids are into fart
Fart
maxing.
maxing,
now.
What is
like
fart
like a whole
maxing?
diet of like a cup of this,
to make more
How to
farts?
maximize your farts.
yeah,
wow.
and to volume
Maximize-
and smell.
Well, now's your chance to buy
Wow.
stock in Hanes and refer to the loom.
Pretty
or whatever.
interesting. I don't know why
This
you
fruit's gone
think-
off.
Why you would have thought of that? Why that would have come to your mind just now? But that is interesting
yeah,
to think about.
yeah. I was thinking spiders and flies, poop.
You know,
yes.
I have
Yes.
a lot of those thoughts when we're
Scat
doing the
or,
podcast.
droppings.
And I also have a lot of those thoughts when we're playing Fortnite. It seems like those thoughts come up a lot during the podcast and Fortnite.
Look,
if
if you-
hear farts
speaking his
over
mind a
the
lot.
microphone.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's just
Fortnite?
the thoughts come up.
Oh, got it.
We got to
Fortnite.
start miking my chair that I sit on. I think
No,
because
I don't think so.
because no one can hear anything.
Oh no, you definitely can. You definitely can. Usually in Fortnite, it's also the fart followed by a oh or a ooh or or
Why
something.
would you say that?
I'd say don't spray it.
I don't know. I mean, we
Dear
play.
Lord.
Usually, there's at least 4, maybe up to 6 people playing. I don't know how he thinks he knows
So-
who's farting.
So wait.
I don't
Usually
get it.
Are
4,
you
but
saying I'm
sometimes.
wrong?
So
I'm
there's
just saying I don't know how you could be so sure
So-
when there's 5 other people there.
Mhm.
so there's
Mhm.
usually 4 playing, but sometimes there's an
Guy
extra
Bones.
toot.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah, Guy Bone says farting with the boys. That's very true.
Yeah. Sebastian Toot.
I got to use him in a picture last week. I don't remember what it was. But thank you for the email, Casper. I appreciate it. Also, Mom Brain. Casper said they included a picture of the cats for you to see, Mom Brain. I'm opening the attachment right now. There you go. Look
Oh
at
my
those cats.
God.
Cat time.
I'm not going to put them in the Discord because I don't know if it's allowed.
we have
but
names?
There you
Oh,
go.
my goodness.
Good looking cats.
Well, what a
Do we have names?
What a
Let's find out.
portrait. Portrait. What a portrait.
Picture my cats, Holmes and Watson. There you go.
Aw.
Holmes and Watson. Oh, that's right. And I meant to add this to the soundboard. I have your sound clip. I'm sorry, I forgot to add it to the soundboard, Casper, but I will. I'll tease it. It's his impression of Werner Herzog, but I will add that on the soundboard. I apologize.
Casper-
a problem.
Casper's the
Rat
voice
Hat
actor.
Redemption. Yeah.
I looked up that character after the original reveal that Casper was a voice actor, and I remember that part of the game, that mission. It's actually like pretty heartfelt. You go into the bayou and you have to arrest Casper's character, and his wife and like son are there, and you have to make the decision to like hog tie him in front of his like family and take him in, and he's claiming innocence the whole time, and against your better judgment you bring him in only to find that he was guilty, and his bandito friends come out of the woodwork.
Son of a bitch.
But yeah, I think that's the part of the game, but it's a pretty great mission for being like a side mission. So great job,
I'm
Casper,
sure
on the
Casper
voice
will have
acting.
a follow-up. I will keep you posted on what he says. Yeah.
Guy Bones has a specific question.
Guy Bones has a specific question. Let me go over to this.
Also, radical defect.
Hey, specific
shared
question.
a cat
With the
picture.
Mario Kart World rewind feature, how does that work with items? Like if you're about to be hit with a shell, can you rewind to avoid it? That's a great question.
What is this? This is I don't
What
know
are you
anything
asking?
about this.
It has a rewind feature. So
When
now,
you're playing solo.
no, when you're playing online or solo, it doesn't matter. So like instead of like driving off the course and Lakitu coming to get you and resetting and all that, you could rewind to a few seconds before and continue. So say like you get exploded and you're upside down and you're like, you could rewind and then continue on. But that puts you back in the race. The rest of the race continues. Like
That's
you're
wild.
only rewinding yourself.
That's wild, is it not?
It's
like that sounds
it's a feature in Forza.
really. That sounds crazy. That you like. That sounds like a lot of power to be able to do that while everyone else is still doing them. You know.
Yeah,
Wow.
everybody else is continuing to go forward as you go backwards.
Right.
But it's a choice on what you think would be better for you. So
I mean, you're not rewinding everything like
you
Legend
only
of Zelda.
rewind yourself.
Yeah.
Everything else, everybody else continues on as is.
Yeah.
So, man, that is a great question. So, if you see a blue shell's about to hit you,
I think you're probably
could you
still gonna-
rewind and avoid it? Probably not. They would probably rejigger it so that it would hit you there because they know people would spam that. That's my guess. Hi, Tater Tot.
That's where
But
it
how
raises kind
does-
of questions because you're rewinding you, not anything else.
Yeah.
But that's honing in on
That's
you.
honing in
so
on
you're
you, yeah.
it's probably still gonna.
Yeah, it's tied to you.
I just don't understand that. Like, you're in first place. There's 10 people behind you, let's say.
Well,
You
now
get hit with a
there's-
blue shell. You end up in 11th place. You decide to rewind so you're not hit with the blue shell. But all those 10 people are still going forward, so they'd still be in first through 10th place, would they
Yeah,
not?
but
Wait.
you're weighing like
If you know that a blue shell's coming at you and there's people right behind you, you can rewind and it'll take out like a whole cluster of people.
that could potentially be true. Yes, that could be true. So I don't know. This is why it's a great question. He said his thing, and now I blanked on yours. Oh, it's like when you rewind, you are continuing the momentum you had before. So you're weighing: is it better to go from the complete stop of a blue shell and get back up to speed, or rewind a second or two, whatever it is, and keep your momentum? Although you have fallen back. It's up. There's instances in Forza where I rewound and ones where I didn't. It all depends on what's going on in the situation. So
We'll see. I got to see it in action. Because in my head, you drive off the track, Lakitu comes, brings you back on the track.
well, he
costs
doesn't
you some
really do
seconds.
that anymore. Like driving off the track isn't really a thing anymore because there's no off the track. Like
Gotcha.
it's like open world. So
Okay.
it'd be like, do you want to fall in the water and drive your? Because you're thinking your car can drive in the water. Like, do you want to fall in the water and go back around and come back up on the course? Would you rather
Okay.
rewind and pick up before you made the mistake? We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Tater Tot says, "Hey, all, Spud and I say hi on our way to a baseball game following a board game market. Wow, that sounds like an amazing day. It's a board game market. I want to go to a board game market.
Baseball.
Look at this beautiful picture of Radical Defects cat
know.
sitting on it. That's funny. I have a Mario blanket that I sit with on my chair downstairs, and you got a Luigi blanket.
I believe that Mario blanket was from Mikey 3319.
Mario.
I think.
Okay. That's that. Great question. I wish I had an answer for you. We have Patreon topics to discuss.
We want to play.
Mom Brain, did you know you could join the Patreon?
For $1.
For $1, just $1. And here's what I talked about on Patreon this week. I talked about CGI graphics and how I miss them and how I wish they were still used in games. Very, 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 very rarely are they used nowadays. But I would love to see them come back or be more embraced by indie developers. It's not something that big name developers would ever use, but CGI graphics are what you would see in Donkey Kong Country, where it was computer generated imagery on like those giant computers back then, and then they turned them into sprites. And on the Super Nintendo, it made it look like a game that you thought would be impossible on the Super Nintendo because it looked like computer generated graphics, and it was just they were turned into sprites. So there were a few years there where a lot of games used that, like Toy Story used it. Of course, I'm blanking on every other game. There
Or
was
the
one.
background, the characters are CGI.
Balls.
Basically?
Everybody.
Not
They could all
balls.
be.
Clay fighter.
Neither.
Clay Fighter.
I'm so
was
sorry.
clay.
Clay Fighter was actual clay. Yes.
Was it?
Yeah, and Balls was just like
Actual
balls,
balls?
is closer, but it's just like spheres shaded to look like.
Vector Man.
Vector Man is a correct example. That was balls shaped, but he was a CGI character. You are correct, and there were CGI elements in there.
Check out
Very
the
good.
balls on this guy.
Very good. That was great. I'm sure somebody else in the Discord could think of some more CGI games. I'd love to let you try again if you want to guess.
Thanks.
Very cool.
Now, does this mean it has to be on the Super Nintendo? Is
No.
that so like other
Any
systems could
CGI,
have done
yes.
this? So like
Any system is capable of it. I mean, it was on the Game Boy.
so Resident Evil, the original's not that.
CGI backgrounds.
Okay.
They
all
were
right.
static. Yeah, that counts.
counts a little.
That can No, I'd say that 100% counts. They were
Yeah,
not
nice.
characters.
I thought about that too.
They were backgrounds. Wow, you are
Thank
on
you.
today.
Thank you.
Was there like a Crash Bandicoot that utilized that?
So the polygonal ones on like PlayStation 1, no. On GBA, it might have. I'd have to go look. I honestly don't
But
remember.
Earthworm Jim's not like that.
Earthworm Jim had a few things that were CGI. The refrigerator that drops down is CGI. Some of the elements of backgrounds are CGI, so it does count. So you're good. You're good.
All right.
So yes, I really like those kind of graphics.
Pit Fighter? No, Pit Fighter
No,
was like
that's
real
actual
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked good.
Just wait.
Don't quite.
So obviously they did that at the time to fudge graphical capabilities. You know, Super Nintendo couldn't do actual CGI characters, but it could do sprites of them because sprite is just somebody drawing something, but they turned these CGI graphics into sprites that were used on the Super Nintendo. And then, you know, like I said, that was used in games to get around graphical limitations of platforms. And then we didn't need that anymore. So they moved away. Just like when we got to the PlayStation 1 era, companies were like, no more 2D games. We don't need that anymore. No more sprites. And for a while, sprites just went away completely. Nintendo still did their sprite-based games longer than other companies did, but then they moved away too. But nowadays, we're in an era where sprites are as popular as they used to be, if not more than ever, because you get tons of indies that still make sprite-based games. So it very much exists. And there are some indies that do CGI stuff, or at least make artwork that appears to be CGI, although it isn't. But I just like to see that style come back because, you know, just like sprites or anything else, it was an art style. Yes, at the time it was to get around limitations, but it becomes a style, just like black and white is a style in movies because we don't need to do black and white anymore. It was a limitation of the times, but now people use it because they like the way it looks, or they think it adds something, or they're trying to do something with their story that they believe the absence of color enhances, whatever. So I would like to see that come back. Radical Defect says when sprites came back, they came back with a vengeance. I would agree with that. I also talked about Mombre. Dondozo
that's sweet.
Season 2.
Oh,
Which comes out July 3rd. The trailer is out. The first couple of episodes from Season 2 will be in theaters, just as they did with the first one. And I would love,
Excellent.
well, I can't go, sadly, because this is fake E3 week when they're showing it. It's like June. I want to say it's June 6th, and I can't because there's
what a week.
Yeah, Switch comes out June 5th. Then June 6th is Summer Game Fest and some other BS game thing. Then that Saturday is, I want to say, 3 more conferences. And then that Sunday is at least 2 more, one of them being Microsoft. So that's going to be really important for Switch too, because I'm sure they're going to show things there.
As well, or that's their
rumored that Nintendo is doing one.
Direct.
It's, you know, it's rumored in the sense that Nintendo hasn't officially announced it, but I wouldn't really say rumor because Nintendo always does one in June. So I would imagine, yes, one is going to happen. It's just when is it going to happen? When in June, I should say, is it going to happen?
Yeah.
Well, predictions for Dondozo Season 2. Ghosts or aliens? Who's going to win?
Great point.
No, but that's about all I know of the premise.
Right now, I would say Aliens won a lot in the first. I would say Aliens won a lot.
Okay,
There are
all right.
ghosts though. End of season 1. What happens? What's the girl's name? Momo?
Spoiler alert.
She is captured by
Sumomo.
I don't know if we know if he's a ghost or an alien. Just some thing. I think it's a ghost, actually, right?
I don't remember.
Something's got one of the main characters, and what's the guy's name? I don't remember his name. It's terrible.
Oh.
But yes, it was a cliffhanger ending. One of them is captured, and the other one's going to try and get him back. And
Ken
he doesn't. Yeah,
Ken Watanabe.
there you go. That's it. You're right. That's it. There's another character that Ken has just met up with that's a friend of Momo. And I should play you a clip of the guy in the dub that is the friend, because it's the same guy who voices the main character in Solo Leveling. You watched the dub, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the guy in Solo Leveling is an excellent voice actor. I think he does a phenomenal job. And his range of acting is so insane to me. Because in Dondozo, he plays someone who has a completely different voice, and I would have never guessed that it was him. Like he's doing something completely different.
That just reminded me. Do you know in Invincible, Donald, the guy with the glasses?
Yes,
You know what he does the voice of? Did I tell you guys this already?
I
The-
think you might
Mickey
have.
Mouse.
I didn't know that.
In,
Does
like,
he
the-
really?
Yes.
What?
And when you see who he is, Chris Diamantopoulos.
Yes, I
whatever,
know that name, man.
He does not look like I know
Yeah.
him from, again, Silicon Valley, where he was like a tech bro kind of guy, and he's like he becomes
Man, that is what he looks like. Look at that.
when he hits a billionaire, he like has his own line of tequila called Tres Comas.
That's what they all do.
Stuff like that. And he's in it, like I think he's a hilarious actor, and then you see that he's a voice actor for this stuff, and I saw that he was Mickey Mouse, and I was
That's
just like,
pretty good.
damn, that's wild.
Why he?
Because his voice, his range is
He's a good voice
incredible.
actor. Yeah.
like I never really. There's a couple times when he plays a character where I like pick up on it, but there's other times where he's so under the radar or whatever. I don't know. Slick.
You know who else does voice acting in that show? Do
I'm a Goggins man.
that's right, Walton Goggins, and I think he's great in that show.
Yeah, he does great.
I'm a big Goggins guy.
So
Does
Dondozo.
he really have goggles, or is that just a GoDaddy?
No, he really does.
The Walton
seen him
Goggles
selling them.
goggle glasses.
If I ever went outside, they're so dumb that I love them. I would consider getting a pair, but I don't really go outside. So. Not an outside person.
They work for him because I guess he's got a lot of real estate.
He
above.
does. That's why I also thought that. I was like, of course he made goggles because he's got a 5 head. So why
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah, that's true.
he? So Dondozo season 2, I put the trailer. We had a teaser trailer, but now the official trailer came out. Like I said, comes to Netflix July 3rd. But if you want to show your support for the anime arts, you can go to your local theater on June 6th. I think just for that weekend. I could be wrong about that, but June 6th, 7th, and 8th, you'll be able to see the first couple or maybe 3 episodes of Dondozo season 2 in theaters, if you would like. I wrote about Mario Kart World's music. Mario Kart World has more music than any other Mario Kart installment in the series history. We learned about that through a creator's voice feature from Nintendo, where they did a 4-part interview with the developers of Mario Kart World to talk about a whole bunch of things. And they talked about the music. They said there's over 200 pieces of music for this game. It includes lots of new tracks, and it includes new arrangements and recordings of classic Mario tunes from Mario Kart and other games as well. And they talked about how they had to rejigger how music worked, because if you're playing like knockout mode, you just go from race to race, as in like you finish a race and then you continue driving to the next track, and how they had to do intros for each song and outros for each song because you're rolling into the next race. There's no there's the regular mode where you just start and you play a race and then the race ends and then you play the next race. But knockout mode doesn't work like that. So I talk about intros and outros and how they had to talk about loops in songs and make sure that a loop could parlay into an outro for a song, and then that goes into whatever song that plays as you're driving to the next part of the race. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. They also talk about free roam mode and music, because free roam just plays music as you're going. But Nintendo did what they're calling a jukebox feature, where the game looks at where you are, the weather, and what time of day it is to pick from a selection of songs that you'll hear when you're in those areas, because they wanted things that they felt really fit the mood or vibe of what you were seeing and what you were doing.
All real time, like your individual location in
No.
real. Okay.
In the game location, in the game weather, in the game time of day.
Wasn't there something about weather though, like real time weather changes and stuff like that? That's not relating.
That's been
to,
in a whole bunch of games over the years.
But is it really in this then? So like if it's
No,
raining,
it has nothing to do with Mario Kart.
Okay.
We haven't seen that since the Wii with the Weather Channel,
Yeah.
and it would like take
We
your
miss
info
it.
and
we miss it.
put it into a game.
I
Yeah.
love
That little
those stupid
cat.
stuff.
Little cat at the top scroll. Or
Oh,
was that
that's
news?
right.
Was that Nintendo news? Or?
That was part of the Wii channels, but I don't remember what channel specifically. But so say you go to wherever, it doesn't matter. Like depending on what time in game you are there and whatever's happening in the weather, you'll hear a specific set of songs, and people are like, "Oh, this is gonna kind of be like Animal Crossing, where you have your 7 p.m. song or your 8 p.m. song, and you'll get like feelings connected to those areas." But this is a jukebox feature, so there will be more. You'll be guaranteed a selection of songs, but there's going to be more than one song that plays at like this place at this
Will
time.
Hotel California be available in this jukebox?
Again, as I said, these are original songs or arrangements of classic Nintendo tunes, and they've done orchestral versions and all that stuff. So,
So this sounds pretty intense because when you
Yes.
first started talking about it, I was just thinking about something like, as an example, say Uncharted 4, where you get into a firefight, there's action music, and then you kill the last guy, and then like the song, depending where you are on the, it doesn't matter where you're on the song, they have like a little wrap-up theme
flourish, yeah.
that goes with it, and you're like, whoa, cool, that was an action movie. How did
Yeah.
it know?
Yeah.
But it sounds like that's a small part of it, but it sounds like it goes
That is
even
part of knockout
bigger.
mode. So like when you finish a track in knockout mode, that track will have a specific outro to it. That song will have a specific outro to it. So every song that they've made has an intro and an outro. And then that will blend into whatever you hear playing in free or whatever you hear playing while you're driving to the next course. So I don't know what song. I don't know how they're gonna. Maybe they've made original tracks for that. I honestly don't know. So then there's all that for knockout mode. Then there's classic Mario Kart, which just has a song and an end and then whatever. And then there's free roam mode, which is songs you'll hear during gameplay regularly, and other songs as well. But how they play depends on where you are and what time it is and weather.
SD asked, "Will It's Raining Men be in the jukebox?"
I don't
only
think
when
so.
the weather's poor.
And also they said a day in game, a full day cycle lasts 24 minutes. So that's yours.
Oh,
In real life, it's 24 hours. In game,
Oh,
it's
it is.
24
Oh,
minutes.
huh.
So there you go. So you won't be waiting very long to see night and day and all that. What's a day? How long is a day? How long is a day in Minecraft?
Yeah.
This includes 20 minutes in Minecraft. There you go. Which is 10 minutes of daylight, 8 minutes and 20 seconds of nighttime, and a short sunrise sunset of 50 seconds. So we'll see what happens in Mario
How long
Kart.
is a day in Tears of the Kingdom?
Let's find out.
Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know off the
How
off the cuff.
long is
Fallen
a
fan.
day
Yeah.
in Tears
Time
of the
to close the website. Doesn't know
Kingdom?
anything about Nintendo.
You guys want to guess?
Nope.
yeah. I'll say
Day.
I'll say 22 minutes.
I'd say 30
long
minutes.
is an in-game day in Tears of the Kingdom? It's not giving me the answer right.
Drive
Let's try
safely,
it.
SD.
Here we go. In Tears of the Kingdom-
Mhm.
Wow. I'm sorry. What are your guesses?
I said like 30, but now I want to change it.
I
But I'm
said
not going to.
22.
In Tears of the Kingdom, an in-game day lasts 3 minutes and 50 seconds in real time. This is broken down into 2 minutes and 30 seconds for daylight and 1 minute and 20 seconds
No
for
way.
nighttime.
Looks like we're the Fallen fans.
3 minutes?
I'm going to do more research.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, and I did have fun.
There's no way.
I also
quick.
don't believe it. That's why
Seems
I'm
quick.
looking.
This is an AI answer?
Yeah, that's why I'm looking.
Mhm.
In Tears of the Kingdom, a full day, including both daytime and nighttime, lasts exactly 24 minutes.
24.
24 minutes.
Not
Now,
too
I'd love to
shabby.
know where AI got its thing from.
It's like a Nintendo standard there. Huh?
Mm.
Looks like it came from a Zelda, the Flow of Time wiki on Zelda, like fandom wiki. So I don't know where. That's why we don't trust AI people.
Oh,
Wrong.
wrong.
I see multiple sites that say 24 minutes. So We're going with
Long.
24 minutes. Yep, one day lasts 24 minutes.
That is funny that I never picked up on that. That's like
Wrong.
that's such a like a perfect scale to go by, right? Like
It
1
makes
minute
sense,
to an
yeah.
hour, and like you could plan your day around that. Like
You can plan your minute around it.
you could plan your minute.
So Don or Mario Kart, yeah. I also talked about Yakuza, which is a franchise I've never played, but always felt bad about not playing. And it's gotten very popular. It is a very popular franchise for Sega right now. I don't have the numbers on this, but I would say it's easily one of their fastest growing franchises. But it was always popular in Japan. It's been going for decades. But in recent years, it has gotten extremely popular outside of Japan. It's growing exponentially. And I've always wanted to get into it, and I just never have done it. And I said it was like an MCU thing for me. When the first one came out, I was like, I really want to play that. And then the next one came out, I was like, I got to play that. And then before I know it, there's like 20 games out there.
Someone knocking on the door.
But I said with the Switch 2, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is coming out at launch, and I'm like, that's the perfect time for me to get in. But I was talking to people on Patreon to be like, hey, can you tell me
How to get to Sesame
not
Street.
that I'm not interested in Yakuza, I am, but I was like, sell me on why I should jump into it ASAP. And there were a decent amount of Yakuza fans who were like, yeah, this is why you need to play it right away. So I'm going to bump it up my list. I should just jump on it right at Switch 2 launch. It's going to be there, so why not? And it'll be the director's cut with extra features and everything. So perfect timing. Dew disagrees.
No, I think that's perfect timing. I would agree with that.
Okay.
I've never played the games, so I can't say anything. What do I have to say about them?
Well, you gave your
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me it would be like, oh, here's a brand new system. Can't wait to play Mario Kart and these old Yakuza games. So I mean, okay.
well, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna play the new games too. Like I'm gonna honestly, my number one when it comes out is Deltarune, which I don't even need a Switch 2 to play, but that's gonna be what I'm playing right away. And I'll be playing Mario Kart World with you guys, but yeah, I mean, just a new. It's a new excuse to play games that I missed out on too. Like the Switch was a great excuse to play games that I missed out on other systems. Can I offer you a hit? Anybody want a hit?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Trying to
Play-Doh.
quit.
Talk about Play-Doh. So yeah, it's just that's
I've seen
why.
it.
But like I said, it's the director's cut with extra content and everything, and it comes out right at Switch launch. So our Switch 2 launch, and it's a Switch 2 timed exclusive. So why not support it? And then I also talked about the Game Boy.
game?
Switch Online got new Game Boy games this week, which we'll talk about later. But I was talking about how I am a fan of retro systems, no surprise there, and retro games. And I love when there are games that I haven't played on systems that I have, like the Game Boy. I've never, when I was a kid and I had a Game Boy, I didn't have income that I could just do whatever I wanted with. So my games that I was playing were at the mercy of everybody else. And when it came to Game Boy, our local rental place didn't rent out Game Boy games, so I didn't have that option. So it meant I could only get what I bought or was got for me as a gift.
I think I told this story a long time ago, but when I was younger, I was in New York with my family, and we went into a store because my mom needed batteries for like her camera or camcorder or something. And in the display, they had Game Boy games, and I was like walking down the display, and I was like looking at all the Game Boy games. They must have been used, I guess, right? I'm like walking down the display, looking at the games, and then all of a sudden, like the games changed into very inappropriate content, and I was like, but I didn't register in my head, and I kept looking, and then I was like, I don't have that. Oh, I don't think that's a game, and like I like shot up. It got real warm in there, and I was like, I gotta go.
And then that started your road to becoming a hentai correspondent.
That's it. It was right
I
there.
guess it must have been. Yeah,
That was the
it was a canon event for me.
It was a canon event. And I talked about the Game Boy, how I love seeing new games come out for like the NES or the Super Nintendo or
I think we all do. I think we can say that we all love that.
I'm not going to say anything. But Game Boy in particular is my favorite. There's just something that tickles me a little bit more when somebody puts out something for the Game Boy, be it a new game,
monochromatic thing.
It's just like the Game Boy is so humble, and the Game Boy was so amazing back in the day, despite its limitations.
What Game Boy did for kids, in my opinion,
Genesis did.
is what really makes Game Boy for me, right? It was like, here, you can take, if you have enough
Yeah.
batteries, you can take this with you and not be bored
Yeah.
anywhere you go. And it's like so completely your experience.
You
like
didn't have to
you don't have to put it on the TV.
argue
You could
for
wear
the TV,
headphones. Like, you know, you could be playing, you could be watching pornography on that thing for all your family knew. Like, it was just such a.
And if you go to the right stores, like I did,
When did they start rating games?
not until Mortal Kombat and Night Trap were the reasons it happened.
So like when we were little and Game Boy came out, there probably were no ratings. I mean, not that we were going to be.
There were no ratings for most.
I would imagine that like the cover art and the titles were pretty much giveaways to adults buying them for children as to what was appropriate and what wasn't. But like,
was there anything inappropriate? Did you say that already?
well, I mean, I guess it's all up to the family or the adult in charge to decide what's appropriate.
Not a game man.
But I just remember getting a Game Boy and feeling like my life was about to get so much better because like long car rides were less boring, and like we traveled by car a lot. Like we went, you know, like when we went on vacation, we drove.
So yeah, there were ESRB ratings on Game Boy games, but obviously it was very late in the system's life.
And like, I don't know, just like something you could like sit next to a friend, and didn't they make a cable where you could link up your Game Boys?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't really remember.
I think in history, like all of history, it's that cable's been used maybe 4 times.
Yeah, right. And like out of those 4 times, it was used effectively like once.
Yeah.
Like, there's something really special to me about that. Like, it was kid sized, and I know it wasn't just for kids, but like
It's for boys.
there's just something about it that I think is really special.
No, yeah, I feel the same way. I agree. Like you could take that and it could be your own experience, and you didn't have to argue to get on the TV, and nobody was going to watch you or look at what you were doing. Or and like I said, on top of that, it was black and white, and you needed the perfect light to see it, and you needed batteries, and like there's so many things to it. But there's just something very alluring about that to me. And then nowadays, when I see developers making new games for the Game Boy, it just interests me that little bit much more. And the Switch Online stuff came out this week, and there was 3 games that I hadn't even played, so I'm excited for that. It's just I was writing about the Game Boy because it was topical at the moment, and I was thinking about that's the system that really does it for me.
And Lego is going to put something out that we're still waiting to find out about. October. Looking forward to it.
It will be $900.
I love the aesthetic of the Game Boy too. At the time, we had the NES, and then the Game Boy came out, and it kind of had a similar kind of aesthetic to it, and I just love that. I know it's not feasible because people are a little more discerning these days, but like I kind of wish every single system they ever had was like light gray. I mean, I know it's not like that in Japan. I get it, but like I have a nostalgia for that ugly, like kind of whatever that was. Like, what were they doing with that? Like,
they did that because that was the tech color. That's what people took as serious tech, or were okay having in the living room and stuff like that. They put like, you can read so many stories about the research they went into to make. That's why the NES not just has the color scheme it does, but the look it does. They're like,
that's also
living rooms have boxy boxes that sit under the TV, and that's what people are okay with. So that's why it has to look like that.
Well, why I think that's fascinating that they did all that research. Why didn't the Sony people for PlayStation 5 use that? I mean, they were like, let's make something that looks like it belongs in a museum of modern crap.
I was going to say museum. It's a compliment. Well, as much as we talk about systems and their looks and it mattering, it doesn't seem to apply to Sony, because it seems like finding someone who likes the look of that system is hard to come by, but the system's selling fine.
Yeah, I bought one.
So it's interesting. If you look at it, the NES was like the multi shades of gray.
Mm-hmm.
The controller was black, gray, and red.
Well, NES has the black strip down the front.
Okay.
Yeah, just saying.
Gray is just another shade of black, or black is another shade. I don't know. I'm just. But then Game Boy had the
That is
purple,
not correct.
the purple buttons on the Game Boy, and then the Super Nintendo had purple. Like it
Purple
started
and light purple.
started to introduce a little more color, and then the Nintendo 64 was like, "Here's more color. Let's bring some color back into your life, right?"
Yep.
With the
And then
controller
everyone who
buttons,
had
yeah.
NES back in the day, that's what now like is millennial gray is such a big thing, right?
Well, they did the GameCube with its button colors, and that
Purple.
scared people way too much. So they went with the Wii. They were like all white. That's it.
What
I
were
mean,
they doing with that GameCube? Like, I know it doesn't matter, but like they were like, oh, we've had gray and black. Let's do ugly purple. Like, what? I know it doesn't
again,
matter.
I'd
to
have
you,
to
but,
look
like,
at the.
what were
I
they
don't
Well, the
know that
purple there was
research.
the purple was the power and the reset strips on the Super Nintendo, right? Were purple.
Mhm.
What else? It's been there.
Game Boy
been
GBA was
there. It's true.
GBA was purple.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, the GBA was a bunch of colors, right?
Yeah, but the launch was purple,
Oh, was it?
bluish purple, whatever. I don't know what we could look up what the
Okay.
official color is,
Indigo?
but
Maybe
But
that
that's
makes
what it
more
was.
sense then.
yeah, and I'm sure the marketing at that time led them to find that color is very popular. So they were like, let's do a purple and
I believe
A
it's
black.
called indigo. I mean, just
There
a
you go.
quick search.
yeah, purple.
Arctic black, orange in Japan only, fuchsia, which was a translucent pink, glacier, translucent blue, and indigo.
Yeah, we didn't
Cool.
get into the color stuff until later because then, late 90s was like colors are cool and translucent is cool. So it's, like
Remember
orange
that
and
translucent-
see-through orange and
Well,
the
that was,
see-through controllers and stuff. I always hated those.
Well, it's
back
like
of the GameCube controllers see-through.
the MacBooks and stuff, right? Or Apple, but what are they called? Those?
The G no. The
You had the computer. Well, who had
I
a,
mean, don't you
blue-
dare look at me with
the
Apple
blue
and
Apple
Macs.
computer? Was that you?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
just called an iMac.
iMac.
Like, yeah,
right.
an iMac from way back in the day. The
Um,
eggshell, I guess.
Yeah. Rotzo, a lot of people have been saying that recently. They missed the translucent stuff. That was very big back then.
I
And
hated that stuff back then, but like I appreciate it now. It's kind of cool to be able to see all like the chips and stuff
like it.
inside your computer or
Um,
your controller.
Nintendo and colors, obviously, they were like in Japan, people are, this is my bias is going to show, but they're like, people in Japan are fun and they like colors. So let's give them colors. And they gave them colors early on. And then in Europe, when they got the Super Nintendo, they also got colors, but we can't have that in America because Americans are going to look at colors and be like, nope, that's a kid's toy. Get it out of here.
Speaking of
The
that.
Super Nintendo in Europe had yellow, red, blue, green. I don't remember but the 4 face buttons were
Oh man,
colored.
I love that. The 4 different colored buttons.
go ahead, Mom Brain.
I've been getting TikToks of a woman who I think it's Japanese
Normal
fashion.
woman?
Blue, yellow, red, green.
That there's like a whole
Beautiful.
style, like a fashion of like maximum color and maximum
It's funny, both you and I have
accessories.
gotten that girl.
Yeah,
like, in
she's
the
so
same week.
cool. Like her stuff, she would like somebody asked her to weigh all of her stuff,
Saw
and she
that.
said it was like almost 5 pounds worth of like hair clips and
Oh.
like all kinds of but
In
it's like
one outing.
It's like super cool. I'm gonna look it up.
I'll take the cool.
Um,
Yeah.
I have a fidget cube that was like a retro style, and it's gray. I think gray, black, and then it has the 4 color buttons on it.
I would love to wear
Decora style.
some stuff like that. I definitely want more
yeah.
color, but that's too much for me just because she's wearing so much. I would feel over encumbered, but I love what she's doing in general. I'm just saying for me, I wouldn't want to wear it for the weight. My necklace is good enough, but yeah, as far as color goes, I love color. Yeah, I really, really like what she's doing. So there you go. That's what I talked about on Patreon this week. And that's that. Let's get into news, Mom Brain.
One moment, please.
Finally. Hey. Finally. We're starting off big with Switch 2 rumors. You thought you knew the Switch 2? Well, you don't. Nintendo is working with Samsung to ramp up Switch 2 production. because Nintendo is obviously seeing that they need more units, and people, whatever their internal research is showing, indicates that the system may be gobbled up even more quickly than they anticipated. So Nintendo is working with Samsung to get some more units out there. Nintendo was already working with Samsung to create the Switch 2 with some of the chips inside, but now they're doing more with them to produce more aspects of the Switch 2 so that they can get more units out into the world as we go further into this year, especially get towards the holiday season. So we'll find out. But rumor has it, and this rumor comes from Bloomberg, who has a source that they trust. They say that Samsung is talking to Nintendo and being like, hey, love working with you on Switch 2. This is great. Just in case you guys want to do a Switch 2 with an OLED screen, we think you should go with us because we know how to do that. So apparently Samsung is already whispering in Nintendo's ear saying, if you go that route, we would love to be your partner. That doesn't mean that they are doing it now. That doesn't mean that it will ever happen. But yes, chances are it will happen. Chances are Nintendo will do pretty much what they did with the Switch in terms of Switch 2. They'll make one that's portable only and cheaper, and they'll make one that has a nicer OLED screen. So that's probably the way things will go.
Is that
But
how it works? Hey
how it
Nintendo,
worked
just
with
in
Switch.
case you were thinking about giving me $100,000,
I would like 200,000.
I'm the guy to receive it. Thank
I'm
you.
sure, yeah, Samsung has had, conversations with them being like, if you're ever looking to do a version with an OLED screen, we would love to partner with you on that. Yeah, it makes sense. And, if the Switch 2 sells really
Are they the
well
ones
and
that did the
Samsung,
last one?
who made the OLED screen in the last one, I got no clue. That's a part of Nintendo that I don't know well because I don't care about. I can tell you they worked with Samsung, but I don't know who supplied the screen. Why don't you look that?
I'm about
Thank
to.
you. Just don't trust the AI response.
Well, then I'm not going to try.
If AI is not going to tell me, then I don't care. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, don't. If before the story came out, you were like, I'm going to hold out for Nintendo to do a Switch 2 OLED because that's when I'll get the system. Fine. But if you heard the story and you're like, oh, now I'm going to wait, don't do that because A, we don't know if it'll happen. And even if it's going to happen, it'll probably be years down the road. So we'll find out. Atomic Toaster Yo says, I hope there's more to it than just an OLED. I wouldn't mind a Pro in a few years. Mobile tech seems to move fast. It'll definitely be 500 or more console, I'm guessing. Well, all speculation for now, my friend, but we will find out together. Nicky Hill, a report?
I think it's Samsung.
Okay. Well, then they want to continue what they're doing with Switch right now because the OLED has certainly sold well. As I said, Nintendo has done. I said a creator's voice. I apologize. There was an Ask the Developer feature with Nintendo where they interviewed themselves. They talked about Mario Kart World with the Mario Kart World development team. It was 4 long parts of an interview, 4 juicy interview.
I'm fed up with this world.
Features that are jam-packed with details, and I broke down a whole bunch of them for you. But I'll give you some of the most interesting elements. They said that Mario Kart World development actually started 8 years ago.
I developed this world.
So they started it when the Switch was out, and the open world approach was day one. So they knew they wanted to be open world from the get-go. And they also explained why the game wasn't called Mario Kart 9. It's because of the open world stuff. They were like, this isn't just the next iteration of Mario Kart. This is a departure from Mario Kart. This is the next iteration, the next evolution of Mario Kart. And that's why we went with World instead of 9.
What's the app called? Is it
Nintendo Today?
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something else. Isn't there a handheld Mario Kart called World Tour?
No, there's Mario Kart Tour on mobile devices.
Just Tour. Okay.
Yeah. Mario Kart Tour on
Fed up with this tour.
iPhone and Android. So they said it began. The prototype started in 2017. And they wanted to be 60 frames per second because I feel that's very important for Mario Kart. But with the open world and all that stuff, they were like, we're running into some problems here. And they're like, we want to, like make these landscapes lush, and it's hard to put in all that geometry and keep things 60 frames per second when it's open world and blah, blah. So they were running into a lot of troubles, and they're like, what are we going to do here? And then eventually they started talking about the Switch 2, and the Switch 2 team was like, hey guys, you might want to look at this because this game would probably work over here. And they were like, oh, this is the answer to all of our problems. So they
That's
moved it
why?
over to Switch 2.
That's so strange.
I
that
would
they
have thought it was the other way around. But
No, as I said, they started making this game was supposed to be a Switch game. They started developing it for Switch.
right, I get it.
So how would it be the other way around?
Well, not the other. They'd be like, oh, we want to make this game, and then they're like, oh, wait a second, Mario Kart 8 is selling systems. Let's just stick with this for a while. Let's continue developing that for the future, but let's really just lean into Mario Kart 8 and make that money.
Well, you have to think of it in terms of when they put out Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like they were already prototyping Mario Kart World. They had no idea how well that was going to sell on Switch, and also the long tail it was going to have. So put work in on Mario Kart World for 2-3 years, and then you're like, oh, we're really running into problems here. And then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still selling well. So that was probably serendipitous for them. They're like, all right, we can really take our time on this one because the other one's still doing well. And then the Switch 2 team was like, hey, we're doing something over here. So probably just worked out like that. And they're like, all right, let's give people a stopgap and put out the DLC for 8 Deluxe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because when was the last time Nintendo did a new system where there wasn't a new Mario Kart? Not now, not never. So they were obviously working on one. But.
And and it's exclusively for the Switch 2. It's not like Breath of the Wild, which was on GameCube or on Wii.
This thing's
Wii U
Switch era ended 4 or 5 years ago.
So, okay, cool. So
you're worried about this being a lesser game on Switch 2. I can see the gears turning.
No, not really at all. I'm just trying to think of like what. I know we've had this conversation a lot, and forgive me because I didn't get the original Switch day one, but the original Switch came out, and it was exciting to play Breath of the Wild, but you could have played it on the previous system, where it's like this is coming out and we're actually getting like a system seller kind of game.
Yeah.
Where so that's exciting. That's the only thing I was trying to say.
It is a more traditional, like you can only get this on this system launch,
which
game,
makes it exciting, kind of like a little bit more exciting for a console launch, which is exciting in itself.
I mean, I buy systems to play games
You
in
don't
general,
care
but
anyway.
but when I buy a system, that's what I'm looking for. I'm like, let's launch with a big name game that you can only get here. See, with the Wii U, it was
Like
good
Wii
enough
Sports.
because there was such a big change for Zelda. But on top of that, nobody had the Wii U. So I'm like, this practically counts as
I guess
launch
that's
game.
right.
But yes, when I buy a system launch, I play all games. It doesn't matter to me. But personally, I do want a game. I want it to launch with a game you cannot get anywhere else. That's how I traditionally looked at new systems. You're launching with a system that gives you games, or at least a game you cannot get anywhere else, because you're like, here's how we're introducing the system with this new game that's only here, and it's going to showcase what the system can do. So yeah, Mario Kart World is that game for Switch 2, but it's not the only Switch 2 exclusive. We have Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, like I said, which is a time exclusive. We have Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which you will only get on Switch 2. We'll have a month later, a little bit over a month later, Donkey Kong Bonanza, which will be only on Switch 2. And there's other things on Switch 2 that are only there that I'm forgetting at the
I
moment.
like the way you say bonanza because it's like it's the only way to say it, right? Like you're like really put the
because
stank
it's
on
spelled like banana. Yeah, you got to go
it.
bonanza.
Do you think that
Bonanza.
it's purposeful that they're not launching Bonanza? Do you think they're doing it
Mario Kart World
to like sell the Mario Kart?
There's no world in which Donkey Kong Bonanza would ever sell more than Mario Kart World or Mario Kart in general. Like that just wouldn't happen. Mario Kart is
So they
their
don't want it
biggest
to get
franchise
kind of
ever.
buried. They want to give it a little time, and then you're like,
Yeah.
now that people have played World for a little bit, let's give them something.
Well, they're going to do their
fresh.
cadence that they've done all throughout the Switch, almost all throughout the Switch. There's been a few
You don't want
instances
that.
where it didn't happen. Game a month from Nintendo. And that, they were very strong on that for a number of years. There were a couple months in there where that didn't happen, but by and large, it was a game a month from Nintendo. So, yeah, launch with Mario Kart. That's the bundle that'll get people going. They've seen there's so much data for Mario Kart, especially from the Switch, that shows like, look, 60 plus million people bought this game, and they just sold another 800,000 in the last quarter of 8 Deluxe. Like, this is the game to put out at launch for Mario Kart. You can't beat it. And you could say, but look at how well Breath of the Wild did. Sure, Breath of the Wild did amazing, but it did less than half of what Mario Kart did, and Mario Kart was a re-release from the Wii U version. So go launch with the Mario Kart. Makes
Wait, Mario Kart
perfect
8 was originally Wii U?
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I was thinking it was originally like 3DS or DS or something.
no Wii U.
I guess
Mario
too
Kart
big,
8
too
was Wii U. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was Switch. But at launch, the difference between Deluxe and regular 8 wasn't all that big. But yeah, longest of the long tail sellers, biggest selling game on Switch by far. So the launch with the Mario Kart makes sense. And then, like I said, that's a 4-part feature. You could go read that. And we did summaries of all of it. So if you'd rather just see the quick bullet points, you could do that. But I suggest going to read the full thing. Most upvoted comment comes from Zeldude, and he says 18 years ago. Joking. The headline could maybe use a comma between Switch 1 and 8, maybe. Comma wouldn't make sense there, but I could see how you might read that as 18 years ago. I agree. But listen, now this is where we are. I could say Switch and Switch 2 or Switch 1 and Switch 2. Whatever.
Development started on original Switch.
I could do that as well. Yeah.
8 years ago.
But here's the truth about that. I tried it and I was over the limit for social media. So I had to rejigger words. That's why every title I make also has to take into account text limits for how our site works and how for social media works too, because then I have to tack on the link as well after that. So you're at a text limit, and sometimes you got to make titles that I don't like, but well, here's the truth. I make titles 100% of the time that everybody doesn't like. So that's all there is to it. We're not going to do that. Miyamoto was talking about whatever the hell he wanted to talk about because he was out at Super Nintendo World's launch or grand opening at Universal Studios Orlando.
Is this photo from this grand opening, or is this an older photo?
Old, like E3 photo.
It's a great photograph.
And
he's gray now, right? He's got some grays in there.
Got some gray, definitely, yeah. He talked a whole bunch about a whole bunch of different things, but in an interview with IGN, he talked about Pikmin. And he says, he just loves Pikmin. Quote,
pick them up, pick them down.
Nope.
Pick 'em up, put 'em down.
I spent a lot of time these past 5 or 6 years really wanting to grow Pikmin. No pun intended. Obviously, a lot of that is focused around Pikmin Bloom, and there was also new Pikmin titles that released. But I wanted to see if there's other ways that we can have people engage and get to know Pikmin that's outside of the population that plays. What just happened here? That plays video games, for example. And it really stems back to 20 years ago when we did a presentation where it starts off with, there's a Pikmin next to you. And in so Nintendo, there's sort of an unwritten rule. Mario needs to stay in the Mario universe, or Splatoon needs to stay in Splatoon. And we don't use different characters in the same place. But Pikmin has this kind of unwritten rule where they're okay to appear next to other characters. So that's because he's talking about at Super Nintendo World, all versions, they've hidden Pikmin throughout all of them. You can find little Pikmin hanging out on ledges or behind benches or whatever. So it's like a little game Miyamoto made. Go to the parks and hunt down the Pikmin.
He's obsessed with this Pikmin. I mean, I'm glad that he likes it so much because nobody else is gonna, be a champion for it.
Well, remember, the newest Pikmin is the best-selling Pikmin of all time. So
I'm just happy that he's so obsessed. He seems so obsessed with Pikmin.
He has 2 obsessions. He loves all of his franchises, I'm sure, but he's got 2 obsessions, Pikmin and Star Fox. The man loves those above all others. And oddly enough, those are my 2 favorites too.
It's strange that that he couldn't get any Star Foxes made then, right? Like, shouldn't they be making a Star Fox every 5
would be
years?
an awesome ride at Universal, huh?
Well, as he said, he's not really doing anything with games now. He's been doing the parks. Like he'll poke his head in and it'll be like, Miyamoto, is this good? And then he'll flip a table, or he'll be like, okay. And he's not really like in game development right now. He will offer his opinion, but these teams are making the games without him. So he's doing more theme parks and movies and all that. That's what he's doing now. So if you don't have your major champion of Star Fox there, then chances are you're not going to get a new Star Fox. You fudgers.
Whoa.
And they made a new Star Fox for Wii U, which was the worst situation possible. And it came out at the end of the Wii U's life, so it couldn't get any worse.
Well, and it's strange that they brought so many Wii U titles to the Switch, and they never
Didn't do that.
brought
Because
back.
Wii U, Star Fox on Zero on Wii U is
Okay.
the poster child for gamepad usage. If you're gonna make, you can't just bring that game to another system. Like that was made, in my opinion, that should have been in the first year of the Wii U, because that shows here's why we think the gamepad is a good idea and what you can do with it. Like that was built for the gamepad. Man,
Goodbye, Slippy.
and Slippy was in that really cool. It was in like that.
How great would it be if you could take your original Switch screen and attach it to your Switch 2, instead of trading or whatever, and then you have like a DS that, kind of locks together.
How great would it be? I don't know if it'd be
What?
great. I'd have to see what games are made for it, but there's an idea there. Sure.
Well, to play like Nintendo Switch Online Wii U games, perhaps.
Or
The
DS
people are
games.
clamoring.
You see what
Let's
I
see, like
Dilbert
that would
said?
never exist. Why would they do it? They brought almost all the games to the Switch.
Yeah, why would they do that? I don't know. More Game Boy Advance games, please.
I mean, like
Well,
it's-
that's not Nintendo. Those are indie.
also, it's
I
like
know.
the system that sold 13 million that we brought almost every first-party game
Well, then
over to the
let's
Switch
throw
already.
it in the garbage with Virtual Boy. Why are we
I
even
have
talking about
anxiety
it?
about getting rid
In
of
the
my Switch.
garbage.
You guys are
Erase
talking
it
about
from
it.
history
What-
the way
what are
you
we
talk
talking
about
about?
it.
Ice Dilbert said, speaking of Pikmin Bloom, do you see they increased the level cap?
I did. We posted about it. I did
right.
see that.
You can go up to 130, they think.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll talk about Wii U until I'm blue in the face, but as far as Nintendo goes, it makes
Can you-
zero, less
can
than
you talk
0
about it
cents.
until you're Indigo in the face.
I can try. It makes less than 0 cents to do a Wii U Virtual Console because you've ported almost all of your first-party games there, minus a few that literally put the gamepad to great use or built around the gamepad. You have like the Kirby, whatever it was, which could go to Switch, sure, but then you could only play it handheld mode. And then there's Star Fox, which was built for the gamepad. So other than that, what do you got? The one Yoshi game that hasn't come over yet, but through Nintendo's own website and their video, it was leaked that it is coming. So
What
we
is
know
that
that
one?
one's coming over. Yoshi
The Yarn.
Woolly
Woolly World?
World? Yeah. So we know that's coming. And outside, you know
Is
what?
that what
Is that what?
Kirby Clay World?
Kirby
Crafted World.
Rainbow?
Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is on Wii U,
Curse.
yes. Which was a great game.
That was a clay one?
Yes, it had a clay aesthetic.
Yeah.
Clay, like Clay Fighter, or Clay as in
No, it was,
That's the only kind of
it was
clay there
real.
is.
They were
What first party?
right? The assets were like
Wii
real.
U
scanned.
games? Yep. Didn't
Ooh.
come to Switch. Let's
Hello,
see if I can
8-bit
trust AI on this.
Lego.
Potential. What Wii U? No, I don't want the Wii U games that haven't come to Switch. It's a Nintendo Life feature, but it's going to have third party. Well, okay.
Okay.
I love Nintendo Life. They're fantastic, and no fault with them here at all. So they say Star Fox Zero. That's true. NEX Remix Pack. I really liked NES Remix, but we have what's the NES? Championship Edition or
Mhm,
Championship, whatever. We
mhm.
have that. So I know it's different, but same kind of idea. Paper Mario Color Splash. Okay, there's one that has not been ported and has features that could easily work on any other system. So there you go. Yoshi's Woolly World, which we said, and we know that's coming, not officially, but and then we get into the stuff that makes me angry. Twilight Princess HD, Wind Waker HD. Like we're Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Like nobody even wants that game to come over. So I don't think that's gonna happen.
Wind Waker HD. Is that the only place to play it right now? Is the Wii U?
Yes.
I think I have.
But
it, I never played it.
At Switch 2
Here's
launch, you will be able to play The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker in HD, but it is not Wind Waker HD.
It's the GameCube version.
Yes,
my glasses?
in HD. They're different. They have
With
a
all
couple
the-
different things.
Yeah.
And it's got all the quality of death. What do they call improvements?
Quality of life.
Well, the Wii U has the quality of life improvements. So if you're playing the original, I say quality of death
Oh,
improvements.
improvements.
Um,
Okay. Now I'm there.
See, it made sense. It
Got
made
there.
sense. I was
Improvements.
no,
Improvements. That's great.
I'm always fascinated to talk about this kind of stuff with you, and I know very little about the Wii U, so I'm glad you looked this stuff up. But I was more kind of entertaining what the silly thing that Nicky Hill was talking about, where you take your Switch. You take your Switch handheld and make that the gamepad for the Switch 2 when you're playing old Wii U games. I mean, it sounds like the Spiders and Flies came up with that.
Yeah, they would
But
never.
it's an interest. I mean, I know they never would, but like I think that's interesting.
It's certainly an interesting idea. Like, would I like to see? I don't want to see Nintendo do it because it serves no purpose. It makes no sense. Is it an interesting idea? Yes. Would I like to see like a hobbyist developer do it? Sure, that would be awesome. But yeah, like if Nintendo did that, I'd be like, who's in charge of Nintendo? Who made this decision? This is the dumbest decision in the world. But from a technical perspective and like a novelty, yes, I would like to see somebody do that. That would be fun. But yeah, it's an actual thing. No, it'd be like making a Virtual Boy 2 now and making it like one color. It just wouldn't make sense. Would I buy it? Yes, but it doesn't make sense.
What was the 2D? Oh, that was a 3DS.
2DS.
The 2D. It was still two screens, but no.
It was everything
3D,
the 3DS was
without
just
3D.
without 3D.
and
it
you
was-
couldn't fold it.
But you couldn't
You
fold
could
it, but
fold-
you
you
could
could-
use it.
Oh,
as-
that yes.
You could use it as a doorstop.
You're right. Boy, that thing, man. Now that's an ugly handheld.
Yeah, agreed.
But it was made
It's
for
like an old
like
Tiger
I get it.
system.
It was made for kids and all. Like I understand it, but no part of me ever wanted that other than a curiosity. Like I just didn't like it. Didn't need it, but now
Why would they make that? You could get the 3DS and you didn't have to turn on the 3D. So,
because it was way cheaper.
and
Yeah,
which would
like
also
I
be-
have the 2DS XL, which I actually really love, and that's what I play things on now.
Go
to tell you
get
the
it.
truth. Yes, sir. Keep the show going.
Did we even get into news yet? Yeah, we've been talking about news for a minute, right?
We've been trying. It's time for the news. It's
There you
time
go.
for the
What is
news.
this?
Oh, it
2DS
folds.
XL.
Look at that.
Oh, I thought you had the doorstop one.
No, we just finished the whole discussion about how I would never buy that.
Excuse me, I don't know how to open this.
Well, Deux said you couldn't open it. I was
There
like,
it
you
is.
could, but I was like, that's the 2DS XL. I forgot.
Yeah. Look at
Really
that.
like that.
Oh,
Really like that one. If you're
It's
not
nice.
interested in 3D, it feels good. I
What
like
happened?
the color scheme.
Let's get back to this, huh?
And that's made by
Oh.
Nintendo.
Yes. What happened? What do you mean? What happened?
I don't know. These are These were beautiful devices.
What's your point? What are you saying?
Now we
Hey,
can't
what
fold them. Now
happened?
they all come
Yeah,
in
it's
one
the same
sheet.
thing as a Switch or a Switch 2, except you can't fold it. Yeah.
Oh, and there's two screens, pal.
No, I understand. Yeah.
Squinch always only
Think about
has
all those
one.
games on the 3DS that use two screens.
This feels a lot better than
I like it a lot.
That Hall
the
effect?
joystick feels better than on my 3DS XL.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's better all around. I would agree. Everything about it is better as long as you don't mind there not being 3D. That's my, as far as controls go, that's my preferred system to play 3DS games on.
What's with that thumbstick? Why couldn't they get that on the Switch? They wanted the drift.
What do you mean? They're completely different.
I
The
know.
thumbstick is like that because the system closes.
Yeah, but they could have put that on a controller.
Oh
It
my
felt great,
god,
no?
that'd be a
It's
nightmare.
probably
Yeah,
better
why?
to have a traditional joystick.
You don't want
Probably
that.
like having to really
Yeah, you don't want that over a traditional thumbstick. That'd be horrible.
I don't know.
hyperextended thumbs all around.
Yeah, no, like that 3D
Feels good, man.
that whatever you want to call it, circle pad, it gets the job done. But yeah, I don't
It's
want
not
to
a
use that
button.
as a regular joystick. No, heavens no. Man, I heard GameStop was giving some serious trade-in numbers for 3DSs and 2DSs, and it's true. Holy crap!
Is this a news story?
I didn't make it a news story. It's just something I heard in passing. It's not like
Oh, I can't follow if it's not on the list. I just don't know. What you're
oh,
talking
sorry.
about.
Talking about Nintendo news that's not on the site. Yeah, I guess I can make a story out of it, but I was just intrigued by it because GameStop was saying like somebody on Twitter was like GameStop's giving like they gave like $170+ for a 3DS, and they were like, "What the hell's going on at GameStop?" And GameStop replied and was like, I don't remember what they said, but they're basically like, it's true, we're giving good money for 3DSs.
Basically.
So people are in that era right now where they're like, I missed the 3DS, I want to get that
Don't
back.
do it, people. Don't trade in your systems, no matter what. Don't do it. I don't care if you're gonna be kicked out of your house if you don't trade something in. Get kicked out.
I can't go as far as do, but I will say I 100% regret trading in every system I ever traded in, because
Every single thing I've ever
you
traded
do it
in,
as
I
a
regret
kid
it.
or a younger adult because you're like, what am I going to use this for? Because I want to get this new thing, and then you don't even remember what the new thing was because it wasn't anywhere near as good.
How many 3DSs do you think we have in this house?
Oh, more.
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least 6 right there behind you, or 4 of them at least.
Those might be
Those
DS
are
lights.
DSs. I was going to say
Oh,
we got more
forgive me.
DSs than 3DSs, but we got a lot of 3DSs.
You don't know the difference between a DS and a 3DS.
Yeah, we have.
That's sad.
Sorry, I'm right there with
No,
you.
We have a lot of.
you-
I'd say we have more DSs because we have DSIs. There's a lot of DSIs floating around here, but we got a good amount of 3DSs, like 4 or 5, and then that doesn't count ones that are unopened, like Special Edition Fire Emblem and stuff like that too. So they're
That's what I
floating
wanted
around
to
here.
say when you were talking about colors of systems and stuff. That like they got to the DS and they were like
Shake
colors,
them,
colors, bang, bang, boom. Every couple of months there was a new color, new special edition.
I mean,
it happens. That's
I'm
what
not
they
going to
do.
say that that's not true, but I am going to push back a bit.
It wasn't
They
every
did
couple
that
of
with like
months.
the Game Boy as well. And
When,
Boy had a lot of
when are we
colors?
going to get to
Game Boy
like,
Color had
Pocket.
a lot of colors.
Oh, it's called Game Boy Color.
it's 2025.
It's in the name.
We order everything online. Why can't I just, when I add it to the cart, click a color from any color in history and have them paint it for me and send it to me?
Have who painted?
Them.
Life.
You know, this exists. Like there's plenty of colors there's plenty of companies that will paint your whatever any color you want.
Right, but like I want it to come out of the box like however I want it. I don't want to have to send it in to somebody.
Well,
Have to do
you
the
know,
thing.
companies like are mass producing these things, so they can't.
Well,
do that.
obviously, it doesn't make sense what I'm suggesting.
But you
how
could-
cool
but
would
you
it
could
be
have
if I could say anything at all? Like, I want it to be gray.
You out of the box. Out of the box, you can't do it. But there are plenty of companies who will do it. You can send your
get a
Switch
wrap.
or whatever.
I know. I'm
and they'll
just
do it. Or you could get a
saying.
wrap, or you could fly out to Nintendo San Francisco, and they'll meet you halfway. You can go to Nintendo San Francisco, and they will give you literally any color combination Switch and Joy-Con you want. They put it together for you in the store right there. You use a touchscreen, and you're like, I want a green Switch and a red and purple Joy-Con and a blue
A
and purple
combination
Joy-Con.
from
So-
the available, like
Yes,
not any
but
color
there's
in
like
it.
hundreds and hundreds of options.
So what I want is technically available. I would just have to
Well-
get it at the store. And
But it won't be any color under the sun. It's any color combination that Nintendo has released, of which there are hundreds of options you could.
you're
piece together.
saying throughout history, not just with this particular system.
Throughout Nintendo's history of the Switch.
So like you're saying all those DSs up there, if I wanted that like cobalt
No,
blue,
again, listen to what I'm saying. It's any color Switch that has been released, any color Joy-Cons that has been released. You can go to Nintendo San Francisco and they will give you those colors.
we're talking about the original Switch, obviously, because
Yes.
that's what's out. I get
Yes.
it. Thank you. I'm sorry. I was like, Switch 2 has only got one color. What are we talking about?
That is correct.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But
So you could technically go and be like, I want the Legend of Zelda Switch, and they go, or is that more than just a color?
that's not a
Did
color.
Did you
so-
just make like a spray spray
Yes.
paint noise?
Yeah.
That was you know, and they're like, yes, sir, yes, sir, Mr. Michaels.
Yeah. Yeah, that I don't think they would do. But
like the Hershey
otherwise,
factory
yes.
where you
Hi,
make your
8-bit.
own like Hershey bar design.
Oh,
Hi,
Dew
Blood
is very
Ocean.
familiar with the Hershey factory.
The
Um,
high.
Okay. It's all very fascinating.
So, yeah, there are companies that do legitimately really nice jobs of painting your Switch or whatever, PlayStation, Xbox, doesn't matter. So if you really wanted something like that
Well-
done, you couldn't get it right out of the box like that, but you can get it done.
You know what? I'm cool with it. It's black.
I think that'd
Black's
be
cool.
a great gift.
Instead,
I mean,
you're
what
just
are you
like,
gonna
you
do?
know what?
I
I've
want
got
any color in the world. Black's fine.
Well,
No,
yeah, I do
it
want
is.
that, but if I have to do some
But-
legwork, then I'm taking
What's
black.
the legwork?
sending it in and not being
Traveling
with
to
a Switch 2 for how long?
Well, yes.
Listen, if it's
Hold on to
colored
your
black, it is all the colors combined. You got them all right
I
there,
have them all,
baby.
so what am I complaining about?
What were you gonna say?
I think that custom, I mean, it would be hard to surprise someone with it because obviously you'd have to send their
Hi, blinded.
system away. But I think that's like a very lovely gift idea for someone to like have their system like
Put
customized.
hentai on their 3DS. Yeah, on the outside.
Just nothing but yachts, just all over it, all yacht all the time.
With a little.
Hey, if that's what you want, your
You know
birthday's
what?
coming up.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have your Switch 2 match to the exact color of my beehole.
I don't
Oh.
want you to touch my Switch 2. You do whatever you want
Well-
with your own Switch 2. One is mine, one is yours. You can't play that game.
Well, I mean, but one is not really mine.
I know, and one is really mine.
Yeah.
So can't do it. Can't do it.
Well, then you can't have it the same exact color as my beehole.
That's what the 2 stands for.
Oh, I get it. Number 2.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Tasty.
All that from a conversation about Miyamoto and Pikmin. Kalas says a better title would have been Nintendo executive shocks fans with unprecedented initiative. Well, somebody's playing the Masturbators game. Yeah, why didn't I think that? I should have went that route. Josh Grobot, my friend, it is Circana time, not NPD. Circana. NPD is out.
NPD is out, and Circana
Do
is
not look
in.
at the articles.
Is this thing on?
Is that all he says? NPD is out? Josh, that's all you got?
I think so.
NPD is out and Circana's in? That's fine.
I think
Okay, Mom
we're
Brain.
the ones that say Circana.
Yes, I really did.
Thank you.
Circana.
Music, Mom Brain, the not the fun millionaire, the stressful millionaire. Thank you. All right, we'll do it as we always do it. I'll explain it once thoroughly. Here we go. Everybody listening. United States,
I've been there.
all systems.
United States.
Every
All
system.
video game systems,
All
Yes.
All systems, but only in the United States.
and current
Yes.
systems. Gotcha.
That doesn't matter. But yes.
PS2.
But United States.
Yes.
Mhm.
United
United
States.
States, all systems. This is for the month of April.
April. For
For
April.
1
but-
month only.
Okay. Just for April?
It is the sales in April.
This is the world.
Okay, sales for April.
And remember, as always,
United States worldwide.
Nintendo's games are on the list, but they do not include digital numbers. That is correct.
Okay.
All right, and we begin with let's go with Nicky Hill since he's returned.
I thought that was going somewhere else.
Call of Duty. I'm gonna go real easy here.
Call of Duty, bro, number 6. Excellent. Nope, number 7. But there you go.
Because of the movie, it's got to be Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
That was going to be my answer.
Well, I mean, yes, and pretty up there too. Minecraft number 4. It was previously number 11.
Holy cow!
So there you go. Mom Brain. She's really trying. America, come to America. Campfire beef, campfire chicken,
The shareables.
the shareables.
Let's.
I want Mr. Mark on the podcast. That's what I want. Mr. Mark, Switch 2 launch.
Let's go with.
There's a time limit on Millionaire here.
FIFA.
FIFA doesn't exist anymore, but I'll take it.
What is it? FC.
FC.
26.
EA Sports FC 25.
Oh,
26 will be before this year ends, but yes, number 14. Back to Nicky Hill. We got a
So,
game this time,
we got a
people.
barn
Now,
burner.
now if FC is on the board,
Ding.
then I think I'm gonna say Madden.
Madden.
25.
Madden 25.
Whoops. He's not out yet. Damn it. Should have gone with it. Something else.
No, Madden. I'm sorry. Remember, as I say, Madden comes out in August, so we're very close to a new one
See, I
coming
was
out.
too
so it
early,
all
but there's
drops
other
off.
sports
April.
that are current in April.
United States
I can't
only.
comment on that. Do
E-Ring Elden R.
E-Ring Elden R. Let me go slowly. Yes, number 18.
Yes.
Number 18. I don't know why that was right. Number 18. Yes, Mom Brain.
GTA.
GTA. Yes, number 15. Jew.
Okay.
Sound like a cat.
Gup.
No, you know the one that like quacks.
Oh.
Isn't there a... This is dangerous. This is dangerous territory. Saying what I'm thinking of saying.
Walk through my fields and feel the shell shock.
I guess
All right,
the
let's-
game's
you
at
know
the
what?
top of the gun.
I was going to do something else, but I'll do something that I personally love. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
And I'll be okay
2.
if it's not on there.
It is number 19. Just
Oh!
eked it out. Debuted at 10. Now number 19. Mom Brain.
Let's go with
She's looking to George for answers. Can't help it.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Let's look through. Dude, congratulations. You're this round's winner.
Hold on.
Unless I missed
I have a
something.
question before you read the answers.
I have a question. I hope it's not your question.
Well, you would be the one with the answers.
I got an answer. Because I'll know if it's your question.
Is Mario Kart World on the list?
No. How
Okay.
would it be on the list?
Because of the pre-orders. I don't know.
It doesn't count as
There
sold.
has to have been
Could be
enough
$5 on a pre-order.
Oh.
Here is the question I have, and it's for Deux and Mom Brain, but it relates to you. Why did no one take Nicky's hint?
Yeah.
He was like, "There's so many other sports games." He said, "Literally, there's so many
I
other
said
sports
there's-
games I could have guessed." And I was like, "Now these
Well,
guys got it."
I specifically said that there's more like relevant sports
Yeah.
that are currently
I-
like baseball.
Now
Nobody went for it.
this is my own, this is what's happening in my own head during these games, so it doesn't make any sense. I look at saying, I have nothing against saying a sports game, and I will and have, but I look at that as like
Cheap shot.
as like betting 601 in Price is Right when somebody bets
Okay.
600.
Okay.
I just find that to be, I don't know enough about sports games. I don't play them personally. Not that that should matter either, but like, and I think that's a little too easy. But at the same time, Call of Duty's always on there, and I'll say Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So like,
Minecraft.
it's all in my own head.
So maybe from now on, you guys should bang out the ones you know will be there, and we'll just get them away. Because I think it's
However-
more fun to guess what you're guessing too. I agree with that. It's like we were playing that game with Lube about the songs and movies and all that.
Right.
However, I got knocked out because I went with a low hanging fruit,
You
and,
went with
and it was rotten.
You just got to know when the sports games come out to like guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what did you
You
said
guys-
Madden,
I said
and that
Madden.
wasn't
Man,
on there?
New
Mom Brain
Men's
said-
in
Mom
August.
Brain said Football Club 2015, 2025,
Yes.
2015.
Thank you for giving me that one.
She's a
but I
big
did say
soccer fan.
FIFA.
Yeah, but we all say
It
FIFA.
counts. It counts.
And it was, EA FC 25s, and then I went with Madden, but Madden doesn't come out until August. But baseball is a current sport, so that would be on the list.
Yeah,
What else?
I mean,
would be
that's
on
all
the
good.
list
Like
then?
maybe we should try that,
Yeah,
but
do
I'm
whatever you
more
want.
like I would like to keep going and say like Expedition 33, Assassin's Creed Shadows.
And I'm glad you know all these names, but I don't.
something. I mean, I got nothing else. So just those two,
Well, let me tell you the top 20 then.
or is it Mirage? Shadows.
Shadows is the correct one. Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Come Deliverance
Oh,
2.
Hogwarts Legacy's
You know,
up
I
there.
was gonna say that, but I just assumed it would be knocked out by now.
I expect that maybe
No,
it's gonna
that's a long tail seller.
it's gonna
That's
get a
killing
little
it,
bit
huh?
more popular again too because of like Universal's and everything.
Oh,
And then the
shovel.
TV series is gonna be
Let me look this
coming out.
up.
That's gonna get some more popularity. And then we're
Popularity.
You mark my
Nintendo-
words. That
the
TV
Nintendo
series ain't
has their new
coming
system.
out.
What the Switch?
You don't think
again,
it's coming
Switch
out?
2.
No,
Why not? I think it'll
because they're
come out. I
getting
think it'll be a
terrible.
flop.
They're having a terrible time getting
Reactions
actors and
is-
people to work on it because they don't want to associate with J.K. Rowling. I
Oh,
read
I
so
didn't
many
realize
stories
that.
about it.
Interesting.
Encouraging.
Okay, there was a story.
How about that, huh? Did you put that on Patreon? HBO Max. It's called HBO Max again.
For
everybody.
$1.
No,
You didn't. You didn't on your Nintendo website talk about
Well, he said
a TV
Patreon.
show?
He said
Talks
Patreon.
about
So
personal things on Patreon.
Okay.
it
I
counts.
didn't hear the Patreon part.
That makes me laugh.
Okay.
and cry.
I hope this is still going
I'll
on.
save it for the after show.
It's offered. Yeah. Oh no, it's over. It was a great deal. I posted about it because it was an insane deal. I hope you guys got it. Now I'll tell
I
you about
didn't.
it, and I can make you feel bad if you missed out.
Please do.
So Hogwarts Legacy is coming to Switch 2, vastly improved.
Is it a
Dude,
Switch
you played it,
or
right?
HD
Yeah.
Pro or something? What are those games called?
Those are only Nintendo,
Nintendo. Okay.
and it's not called Pro. It's
Amateur. It's called Amateur.
HD. I don't remember. I'm having a brain fart. I'm trying to not lose my focus on this. Someone
Sorry.
in the Discord will say, no, not your fault. Okay. So Switch got Hogwarts Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Switch 2 is getting a much enhanced version of Hogwarts Legacy to put it in line with like the PS4, Xbox Series X
Oh.
version.
This is US only? I'm kidding.
No. So if you buy Hogwarts Legacy on Switch 2, that will cost you $60.
Okay.
If you bought Hogwarts Legacy on Switch 1, that would have cost you $60.
Hmm.
You can pay an upgrade fee if you have Hogwarts Legacy on Switch for the Switch 2 version for $10. So if you own the one on Switch right now, you can pay $10 and you get the Switch 2 version. But there was an insane deal.
Okay.
It's over now. I hope you guys got it. The deal was you could get a Hogwarts Legacy on Switch digitally for $18. So 70% off. Then you could pay $10 more and get the Switch 2 upgrade. So you could get Hogwarts Legacy on Switch 2 for $28. That's an insanely good deal.
Good deal.
Sadly, it is over now. I hope you got it.
Can you
'cause
play
I
that
posted
on
about it
PS5?
at
Yeah.
length.
Yeah, it was great.
But
I
what
had
a
a lot
deal
of
that
fun.
was.
What a deal.
Okay, back to the list. Elder
Wow.
Scrolls Online, that is number 17. Rat Hat Redemption 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, EA Sports FC 25, The Last of Us Part 2.
You know what? I almost said The Last of Us because
of
I
the
was thinking it
show,
would
yeah.
Show
be
bump.
Dag.
And didn't it just, I think something PC related happened, but I could be wrong. Split Fiction, Monster Hunter Wilds, and then we're in our top 10. PGA Tour 2K25, NBA 2K25, WWE 2K25,
Hmm.
Call of Duty. At number 6 comes one that was at previously number 118.
What?
Any guesses on that? Went from 118 last month to 6 this month
Is there a reason?
or April. There is a reason, definitely.
118.
And it is not a sale. A sale is not the reason.
What's like a movie or a show that's come
Yeah,
out
that's what I'm
recently
wondering.
that like
No.
I would have said Last of Us would have
Good
made
line of thinking, but incorrect. There's another reason. Think about it. Why would a game be 118 the month prior and then the next month go all the way up to number 6?
Is there a holiday?
No. Come on. You guys can do this. Think about this. I believe in all of you. The combined brain power of all of you, you can think, you can figure out the reason.
What system? Would that give it away?
Partially. You keep sniffing that truffle.
I mean, so maybe it's Switch because Switch 2 is
Switch?
coming out.
No, this is incorrect. You are dancing around the explanation.
What did you just say?
Dancing.
Dancing's not a hint.
So it's not.
He asked what system, and that is
So
dancing around the
So it's
explanation.
not Just Dance.
It is not related to dancing at
It's
all.
on GBA.
He got it. No, it's not. Come on, you're dancing around the explanation. Think about what you said. Parse it out. This game goes on as long as you want. I'll end it when you
It's
don't
on.
want to do it.
It's on. Why am I dancing around a system? Asking what system or dancing around?
Oh, man,
Wait.
And you said it had nothing to do with like sale or anything.
It was not on
I'm-
sale.
I am.
You are he's
This-
knocking at the door. Let him in. That's from Family Guy. That's not
I
a
was gonna
joke
say, is
about.
there-
Yeah, I know. Everything you think is a hint. I'm not. There's no hints. There's no secrets. I'm telling you, your question of what system is directly related to the explanation for this.
Okay, so what's going on?
So
with
it was
systems?
already on a system, and now it's just released on something new.
Yes, that's correct. It was already on a system, and it just came out on a different system for April. Yes, that is it. Now, if you'd like to try and guess the game, go right ahead. If you don't want to, that's fine.
Is it's a big one probably.
It's very notable. Yeah.
Cyberpunk or no? That's
Is it something of
That's
that
already been on
scale?
all systems.
But is it something of that scale?
That's for you to decide. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what releases, folks. I'm out.
He's out. Don't you want to keep guessing? You're out.
yeah.
Okay. Indiana Jones and the Great
Okay,
Circle,
there you
which
go.
jumped to
I would not have
PlayStation
gotten
that.
5 after being on Xbox exclusive for a while.
Oh,
Wow, a lot of
that
a lot of
makes
people on
sense.
PlayStation. Well, I mean, what does PlayStation have that's like exclusive or new, right? Do you have that conversation a lot? That like,
There's
What does it have?
Spider-Man 2, and that's it.
Astrobot was the
Oh, and
latest one,
Astrobot.
but it's not
So,
like
like-
that was last year's Game of the Year winner.
so folks on who over at Sony or PlayStation
I'm probably forgetting one. I don't
had
wanna make people
his
angry.
game comes out. That's like a big game. Everyone's looking forward to. It's finally available, and they jump on it.
Also,
Good for you, Harry
It
Ford.
was number 118
Harry?
previous month because it's been on Xbox for a
Oh.
while. But on top of that, it was on Game Pass, so people
Okay.
don't have to buy it to play it.
I wanted to ask you, in private, but I'm going to ask you on a public stage.
Uh-oh.
Would you be interested in going to see
Oh,
The Last Crusade because they're re-releasing it in theaters for Father's Day? You want to go with me?
Should be in a museum.
I mean,
You say no.
look, I love that movie.
Have you seen it on the big screen?
I haven't seen it on the big screen, so it could be cool to see it on the big screen.
Think about how big of a difference it's going to be for him with where his TV is in that position.
Wait,
Yeah.
It's a joke about his TV setup.
I'm
That's why
so
he wants to
far
see it on the
away.
big screen.
I thought it was in the theater though. Oh, you're saying
That's the point. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been watching it at home on the TV.
I gotcha.
It's all good.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
love to go see old movies till the cows come home.
Yeah,
But in my house.
I get it. I was just throwing it out there because it's a favorite, and those are the ones that get me back to the theater. Is like the old movies that I either haven't seen in the theater or haven't seen in a long time. You know, it makes me feel nostalgic. Anyway,
Assassin's Creed
yeah,
Shadows was number
please.
5. Minecraft was number 4. MLB The Show was number 3. Forza Horizon 5 was number 2 because that also just went to PlayStation 5.
Forza Horizon.
And number 1, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered because, of course, indeed.
Elder Scrolls. Okay, that's different than Elden Ring. I always get those confused because they're
Yes.
both Eld.
Understandable.
E-Ring.
Elder.
E-Scroll.
Yep.
Why is it so hard to do?
That-
It's so hard to
I
do.
don't know.
what are you trying to do?
E-Ring. I'm trying to E-Ring Elder Scrolls.
E-Scrolls O or E-Scrolls Online.
or E-Scrolls or
It's
Elder
really very simple.
Elder S.
Probably Elder S. Probably
Elder
Elder
SO?
S. Elder S Online.
See, so it's not that easy.
It's probably Elder S on L.
I stand by saying it's not easy. I also like how nobody's willing to commit. Do keep saying it's probably.
Well, that's
have to
what's
check
so
with the
great
officials.
about
I
this
know.
language
Yeah.
is it's all about how it sounds and what's funnier usually.
Well,
and
yeah,
that-
I want it to be like ba 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 ba. Like it needs to have that cadence to it. So
okay.
that's why I'm trying to
I
think of something.
gotcha. Then it would be E-Scrolls Online. Yeah, we would need an extra something
on the
there.
line.
Yeah. E-Scrolls on the line.
Now you're just
That's
adding
it.
words.
That's it. I like it, but it sounds good to me. It sounds right.
E-Scrolls Internet.
And then there you go, a whole bunch of other stuff. Your top 10 Switch titles starting with number 10, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Hogwarts Legacy, MLB The Show, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Smash Brothers Ultimate, The 100 Line, Last Defense Academy. It debuted at number 5 on Switch only, so not good enough to break it to the top 20 overall, but hopefully people bought that digitally. On Brain at number 4 last month. At number 4 in April. Hello Kitty Island Adventure did not lose a single spot. That's great. The new update's out. I got to tell you about the update. Super Mario Party Jamboree is 3. Minecraft is 2. Mario Kart 8 is number 1. Sticer says NPD is out and Circana is in. You got that right, Josh. All right, Mom Brain, let me do this for you because this is a Nintendo show and we can talk about Nintendo. So I will tell you about the new update on Hello Kitty because it was a big one. And best of all, it's free. It's called the Friends, Furniture, and Frozen Peaks update. The first major content update for Hello Kitty Island Adventure is here. Ready? Players can explore expansions to Icy Peak, including Blizzard Peak and Snow Village. Discover
I don't
new
like Icy Peak.
weather and flowers and enjoy tons of story and cosmetics. From bestie quests to character furniture sets. This free update also includes fan-requested features like furniture stacking, where you can place multiple items on tables, mannequins, and even on top of other furniture.
That's nice.
As well as rugs on floors and
Yeah.
more.
Oh, that,
And the call friend feature, so you can companion with your Sanrio friends from anywhere.
I like that. Can you adjust the camera angle?
Improved gifting to make friendship even more fun. The more hearts a gift has, the more friendship you'll get for
Sounds
gifting it.
sounds like deflection.
Furniture second. Didn't make it to Friendship Island today? No worries. Items and pickups now accumulate over 3 days to benefit whatever playstyle you choose. Chilly Chambers. Slide your way to success in new frosty puzzles around Icy Peak. You might have to get a bit pushy to claim the rewards inside. Sparkles. Introducing Sparkles. These new special Sparkles appear all around the island at their own pace. Collect and exchange them for game tickets so you can play mini games without waiting for reset. Garden in the Clouds with Roseanne for the fluffiest, puffiest flower yet. Explore stream environments with Nina to grow flowers in the most challenging places on Friendship Island. Flowery furnishings. Play the crane game to collect the fabulous floral Merry Meadows furniture set. Call a friend. New visitors. Retsuko's friends and coworkers are ready to visit Friendship Island for a well-deserved getaway. Peckle and Karopi have buddies and pals who need cabins too. And don't forget to set up cabins for Hello Kitty's grandparents. Oh my God. And then new quests, like I said. There you go. That's your new Hello Kitty update. All for free.
The furniture, I only really pay attention to because certain characters need it to come and stay on the island. I don't do it for myself. I'm not like, it's not like an Animal Crossing where I'd be like, oh, I want this whole set. I don't know why, but there's just something about it in Hello Kitty that I'm like,
I'm gonna save our releases for last and go to the other news. So what's this, May 22nd? Is that
Do I have a minute? I think I have a thorn in my paw.
you got a minute?
Okay.
The girl with the thorn in her paw.
Needed a mouse to get it out. Right? That was
Right?
the lion and the mouse or
Oh,
something.
yes, you're right.
So yeah, we're gonna do this. Randy Pitchford, the Borderlands guy. Borderlands 4 is coming out this year on multiple platforms, Switch 2 included. And he was asked at some event, PAX East, about the game's price. He was asked, is it going to be $80? And he was like, to tell you the truth, I don't know. It could be $80, might not be $80. It's not my decision. I don't know. So those comments made people upset, and they went on Twitter to let him know how they feel. One fan said, Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed this notion of constant increase of the price tag. You are the CEO. You have some say with the price when it comes to your publisher. Randy replied to this guy and said, A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to...
Not my problem.
If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was out of high school working minimum wage and an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. So obviously that reply completely tone deaf, and people are like, what the hell are you saying, dude?
Yeah,
this is ridiculous. If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. Shove it up your ass, Pitchford. What a piece of trash for saying that. Like, his statement of not my call, it could be, it might not be, fine, whatever. That can make you upset, and I got no
get
problem with
hostile
that,
like
but that's
that?
fine. But to be like, yeah, you're not a real fan if you don't buy it for $80,
I
you
mean,
find a way to make it happen, you're an asshole.
I don't want to project by reading somebody's text response, but like that is kind of hostile, right? That's not
It's
just
not
me
kind
being-
of hostile. It's hostile.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be like, you're not a real fan if you don't find a way to spend $80.
right.
No,
in
you're
this
not a real
in
human
this financial
because you're not
market in
showing
this
compassion.
climate.
I don't care
you
what the
know?
climate is. Like you can
No. But I'm just saying, like,
No, I
we're
agree.
we're living in a world right now where like you have to choose between like food, like essentials, and like.
Well, Randy's saying go out and get a 7th job so you can buy the game
Pismo
at $80.
Beach.
And if you don't do that, then you're not a real fan.
He's coming off the high of a very, very great and successful movie based on Borderlands.
That's right.
So
Chart toppers, critic, darling. Yep, you're very right.
I think he crossed the border. Am I right? Well,
He-
not border. We'll cross the line. That's what I was trying
Border.
to go for. Or
It's
south of-
Borderlands.
Borderland. That's what. Well, that's what I was going for.
Yeah,
But the saying isn't that you cross the border. Is you
that's
cross
a
the
saying,
line.
but it just means something different.
I know, and I don't want to go there.
Then somebody else replied, there's a character in Borderlands called Handsome Jack who's like, like a out of touch, lots of money
Hello, Callus.
presidential character or
Turner?
something. And there's an AI for this character, and somebody asked the AI to reply to like the whole thing. And the AI basically said the same exact thing that Randy said. Like it had the same kind of like air of air around it. And they tweeted that to Randy, and Randy was like, oh, is that what I sound like? But then he whatever, he didn't really apologize, so whatever. Joe Shabadoo has the most upvoted comment, and he says, Randy foot and mouth Pitchford strikes again. Yeah, I agree with that. Foot and mouth all the time with this guy. The very least he could have done was simply try to reinforce the scale, scope, content, value of the product that they are selling the way that Nintendo has, rather than such a feeble, toxic attempt at stratifying the company's own fan base before making a ridiculous parallel to some time decades earlier where the economics of this industry were entirely different and the cost of living was substantially lower than today. Rich Guy says tone deaf rich guy garbage. Joe Shabadoo, I 100% agree with you. Completely tone deaf. And even if you know the tone, the vibe of what's going on right now, it shows a complete lack of empathy and understanding of your fellow man. Like, how can you say it doesn't make someone a fan for not being able to afford $80 for a game, or wanting to spend $80 for a game, or not being or not willing to give up some sort of quality of life or semblance of normalcy for wanting to spend $80? Maybe you're like, I'd rather hold off and let the game go down in price, and I'll save the $80, and maybe I could eat a little better, or I could go out to eat one of those weeks and like enjoy like a quality of life. And I'll just wait a little bit longer. Nope, not in Randy's world. It means if you don't spend the $80, you're not a real fan.
Or how about like I have to pay for my medication?
Well,
so I
yeah,
can't
I'm
afford
not.
it.
We all agree with that part. I'm just trying to say it doesn't really matter. You
But,
make
like-
the decision with your money, and if you're disappointed, it's $80. You're disappointed,
But-
it's $80.
But also, like his way of saying, in 1991, this game that I wanted cost $80, and
Yeah.
I made it happen. But the other part of that is, this memory sticks out in my mind because it was such an outrageous price, and I had to make consolations in other places to make it happen so that I could buy this game.
And you did, and that's fine. But it doesn't mean the person who doesn't do that isn't
Right.
a real fan.
Right, but I'm just saying that like
Ow.
it was such,
I've done that a few times.
Like,
Be careful.
because that price was so outrageous at the time too. That's a memory that's stuck in your head because it was like something that was out of the norm that shouldn't have, you know what I mean? Like
It's the
it
old
upset
I
you
work
back then,
Yeah.
and it's still like, hey buddy, you want to talk about this? It's still upsetting you, and it's been decades.
It's the old pull the ladder up behind you thing. He did it, and it obviously
up
is
your hiney. What?
pull
A
the ladder up
up your
behind
hiney.
you.
Kind of.
Up
thing.
behind me.
Whereas back in the day, you're right, it stuck out to him because he had to work extra hard to make it happen, and he did. And now people are having that complaint. He's like, whatever, just go
Right.
out and do it.
But the thing, like, he's calling back. He's calling that back.
He
because
doesn't
he's
see
still
it at
upset
all.
with it.
He doesn't see it at all. I don't think he's upset with it. I think he's proud that he hunkered down and got it done and proved he's a true fan to the corporate people
They
who will
don't-
never see that he spent the $80.
They don't make bootstraps on
What
my
smells?
Asics.
Porters.
What's that smell? Huh?
Porters.
What does that mean?
It's a gummy and pop remedy.
What's the matter with you? Wart?
No, I think I have a thorn in
Splinter,
my paw
or a thorn.
from all my yard work this morning.
Do we have news for you that will make you excited? And I don't mean that, but it's a gag and we continue on with it. We have an update
I
on
would like to hear the news of Deux.
Is it a
Pokemon
new
Company and
I was gonna
total
say,
sales of
it's
software.
a new
They,
Pokemon for the Game Boy Advance.
they have updated their figures on how many units they've sold of games. And
Red,
as of
blue, and green did really well.
Do take a guess. We are looking at the total amount of units sold of Pokemon games over the years.
Wow, that's big. Let's see. So there's
Gabby
been
Hayes big,
there's been what 4, 5 Pokemon games
roughly.
or about that. So multiply all those by 100. I'm gonna say 500 million copies.
I need an honest answer. Did you look at this story?
No,
Because your first number was a joke, but it got you to a number that is very close to the correct answer.
really? That's awesome.
They have sold over 489 million units. of
Holy
Pokemon
crap! I
games.
went
So
over though.
You did
But
go over,
that's-
but
that's
still
really
worth,
good.
worth recognizing. Very good.
489 million units total.
Yeah.
That seems low. to me.
Numbers.
You know, I should have said it and I should have made myself a note because I'm like, this is such a crazy figure. And I thought to myself, Nicky Hill's going to say this is low.
It
And
just
I-
seems low for the lifetime of the system. And
Well, think about what every game sells about 20 to 30 million.
okay.
Well, like Pikmin, the best-selling Pikmin game sold what 4 million?
4 million.
So like, I was using that in my head because I was like, if a game that I love that's not really that popular goes 4 million, then a game that I hate that's really popular probably goes bigger than that.
All right.
And then I was obviously I knew there were more than 5 or 6. I mean, that was a hilarious joke, by the way. But like, but yeah, like I don't know. The 500 million just seemed right. Like that was a real guess.
To put it in perspective, only one franchise has sold more than that.
Mario.
And right below it is Grand Theft Auto, which is even more impressive.
Mario better watch his butt, right?
Yeah.
Pokemon's probably coming for him.
I'd say
No, well,
Mario
you
and
talk
Pokemon
about-
gotta watch their butt because Grand Theft Auto is coming.
Mario Kart is a car game, and the second best-selling game is Grand Theft Auto. Hello.
Sure.
Mm,
Although I would say it's a
mm.
kart game and not a car game.
And
Oh,
you've got
Grand Theft
an
Cardo.
Not
entire
street legal.
world. You've got Mario Kart World, the whole world, and then it's like, oh, here's just a little city, just
Yeah.
one city.
Yep.
But blows up. I don't know why.
Because blows up.
You know what
You
they need
blow
to
up
add?
things, you
You
blow
know
up
what they
people.
need to add to Mario Kart?
Blood.
Prostitutes.
Prostitutes.
Toots.
Need Sebastian Toots. Colonel, there's your picture. Sebastian Toot is a prostitute. Sebastian prostitute.
Or maybe he's the pimp and all these instruments are the toots. I don't know.
I'm gonna text him
You'll-
that.
and
now.
then-
I
come
don't
up
know.
with something.
I don't-
Oh my
I'm not gonna explain it. I'm just gonna text it to him. No explanation.
And then
Sebastian. Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of how they're like after you do your stuff, there's like a stack of money there, but there's got to be like a pile of coins maybe or something that you can collect.
Which we also call money. Yes.
Right, but it's not dollar bills. It's Mario World. It's the Mario World. It's not Mario World. It is within the
Yes,
Mario
yes.
World.
See, it's not Super Mario World,
Universe.
which is an old game, but it's not Mario World. This is in Mario's world.
Right.
It's as easy as that.
Do you think this Mario Kart World is taking place in Super Mario World? They've just updated the graphics?
No, because there ain't no donut planes. And if I don't see donut planes, then we're not there.
You don't think there's going to be donut?
Well,
I said I haven't seen donut
it's
planes.
got to be there.
you sound
hold on.
upset that it's not there. I feel like you
Because if
wouldn't
they're
want
gonna-
it there because you don't like food related levels.
They're just called donut planes. They don't look like donuts.
Okay, good.
But I'm upset because if they're going to pretend this is in the Super Mario World location and there's no donut planes, then I got beef.
I thought I was just making
Not
something
donut,
up. This is something that people have been talking about.
No.
Oh, okay. You seem like you had that locked and loaded.
No.
It
Just
did. It
when
was-
you mentioned Super Mario World, and I got instantly angry because I haven't seen donut planes, and it's not Mario
Well,
World if there's no donut planes.
Because when you think about it, Breath of the Wild, we've talked about this. Breath of the Wild feels like an updated original Legend of Zelda as far as like, in a
Well, it's still
feel, in a
Hyrule,
vibe.
yeah, it's Hyrule.
So
And there's pieces of it in there that show that it is Hyrule, like pieces and parts we've been. So it makes
When
sense.
are we going to visit Low Roll?
We did already.
I guess so, but I want to.
No, not I guess so. 100% we did. Not, I guess so.
But they don't have their own king, like you'd imagine.
They did. What the hell are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
A Link Between Worlds.
Oh, they go to low.
They
World?
went to Low Rule.
Oh, I don't know. What do I know?
Didn't you play it?
No, I own it, but I didn't play it.
Oh man, you'd love that game.
You don't learn things by just purchasing them. You know, you have to experience them, and that's where I kind of miss the mark.
Yeah, you went to Low Rule.
Man, that's a great game.
It is a great
Well,
one.
good on you, Nintendo, playing that pun. Going.
Now, when are they going to
going
go
hard on
to
that
Mid
one.
Rule? Although I guess technically in Tears of the
Mid-nah.
Kingdom, High Rule is Mid Rule because you go up and you go down.
They don't want to. They don't want to in today's age
No,
use
mid-
that because that's gonna.
You had mid.
It has to be called Mid Nah. That's right. Thank
Well,
God
so-
she didn't come around.
I was
before it
about to
mid.
say that. Exactly right.
And because she ain't mid. Nothing about her mid. Anyway, 489 million units
No, it's
sold.
mid. Nah, because it's not
mid. Number of languages for Pokemon games yes, Pokemon games 9. They've been translated into 9 languages. Oh, who wants to guess how many Pokemon trading card game cards have been produced? This
That's
should
in
be
the
really
billions.
fun.
In America,
No, the
Oh.
world.
worldwide, the month of April.
All months since they started.
Cards.
Cards, yes. Pokemon trading card game. Pokemon
Game
trading
cards?
card game cards. How many cards have been
6 billion.
produced? 6 billion.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Yeah, I guess it's in the B's, right?
14 billion.
14
that seems like
billion.
a lot.
20 billion.
20 billion. Price is Right rules. Do wins 75 billion.
mamacita.
75.
Those cards are more
billion.
popular right now than they've ever been. Number of languages for the cards 16. Number of countries and regions Pokemon games are sold in to date. Care to guess?
Say that one more time.
Number
Country?
of
Whoa.
countries. Number of countries. Number of countries Pokemon games are sold in.
20.
20.
Now keep in
I'm
mind
just
the
staring at
games
the
are only
18,
in
18,
9
20,
languages.
25.
25. 90. 90 countries.
Man, a lot of countries use the same languages, I guess. Right?
And the number of countries and regions the Pokemon animated series has aired in, I'll just tell you, over 190.
Man,
Aussie McBucket says, is it an anniversary? Why not wait until 500 million or at least 490? Because it's the end of the fiscal year. That's why, my friend.
how many? Here's a good one for you. How many Pokemon stories are on GoNintendo?
100 million.
Countless.
100
If you're
billion.
saying that there's more than other stories, other franchises,
Got to be.
gotta be. Because
At least as far as
Pokemon
top
stuff
stories
is
are
always
concerned.
going on. Like it's not like there's always Mario stuff going on. No, top stories, no, not even close. I could look
Every-
that up.
Every single week, there's a Pokemon story in top stories. Every week.
That might be true, but that there's definitely not. I know for a fact it's not Pokemon, without a doubt. It'd be like this past 2 years alone. It would be just Switch and Switch 2 would be top
Oh,
stories.
well, I mean, come on. Let's come on, you know.
Why'd you turn into Beetlejuice?
I just
Close.
that was perfect.
Wow, really?
But I mean, come on, we're talking about the Switch.
Your
which
bias
encompasses
is showing.
everything.
I
We're
can't
gonna-
abide by
like-
this anymore. It's your bias. I'm telling you as a fact. Top Stories Pokemon is not the number one. I guarantee it. There may have been
Look,
a few months where it was the number one, but overall,
if we're
not number one.
talking game top story, Pokemon. But if we're talking just
no,
anything,
I'm telling you that's not
Switch.
true.
Well, the Switch wouldn't count as a game story, now would
Yeah.
it?
No, you said top stories. If you're
Right.
asking top franchise, there's definitely an argument to be made. I would probably guess, yeah, Pokemon.
I mean, it's your site. You know better than me. So
Well,
I won't-
because there's
but
more Pokemon stuff coming out more often for it to be able to be a top story. So game wise, yes, I would probably guess Pokemon is number one. But top story wise, no, it's not number one.
But if we're talking about games that are top stories,
I would probably guess Pokemon. Yeah,
okay.
franchises,
okay.
franchises. Yeah.
All right, fair.
Yeah, because Mario games don't come out as often. There's not as much Mario news. Pokemon news. There is Pokemon news every week because it's multifaceted. There's the
Pokemon
games,
is
there's
its
the
own
trading cards,
world.
there's the toys, there's the cartoon, there's the movie. Like there's so much. Yeah, it's nonstop. Mario, Zelda, all those don't get anywhere near as much going on with them all the time.
Yeah.
It just don't happen.
Yeah. It's also good. All the content, all the Pokemon
You
content.
know, I
so
feel
good.
like I feel like you're moving back towards the dark side with this stuff.
I mean, there's
feel
multiple
like
I
you-
shows.
don't understand how saying something is good
we're
means the dark
We're not going to
side.
play this game. We're not
Don't
playing this
get
game.
it.
We're not playing this game.
Everybody
Everybody
loves it.
knows what you're doing.
Everybody loves this series, and I am happy for everyone.
And this is the thing that kills me because you played one of them and you liked it.
I did play one of them,
And you
and
liked
that's
it.
all. And that's where they should have ended, just with one. I'm just kidding.
My God.
I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm glad people love this so much. I'm glad to talk about it every week. Seriously, it's fascinating stuff.
You-
I'm
you
trying. I'm
you
not,
don't mean it.
I really mean it. I really do. I don't mind it. I'm really not trying. Like, I know it's funny. This is like coming off funny.
Okay, I'm going to
not
ask
trying to
one
be a
that means
jerk.
something for me. Hand to Buddy, do you mean it?
I can't.
Okay.
Look, I'm just joking
All right.
around here.
So you don't mean it then. You don't mean it.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just doing lighthearted jokes. It's nothing like it's not. Being
They
mean.
may be lighthearted, but they're constant. It's a like it's as
okay.
it's as constant as Charles Martinet coming up.
I could see why the constantness would make you think that there is some animosity there. There's really no animosity. I did
It's only
play a
because there's
Pokemon game
constantly
once.
news about it.
It was great. And it's fine.
It was great.
No, it was fine. Like you said, I had a good time. It was even the one that linked up with the little Pokédex that you could carry around and it would count your steps. Remember all that?
Mhm.
So like it was
See,
cool.
Pokemon seems like something you'd be way into because you have so many opportunities to name things whatever you want. And that's like something you love.
Yeah, and like the Pokemon are cute and they're all cool and different and they evolve and that gets exciting too. It's all very exciting.
Very exciting stuff. All right, moving on to another top story, and then we got our releases. As we mentioned earlier in the show, there's rumors of a Nintendo Direct.
Moving on.
The rumors state that the Direct will happen sometime in the first, or either the first or second week of June. And again, really not surprising because that's Nintendo's track record for the last few years. Just it might be a little surprising because people are like, oh my God, the Switch 2 is going to come out and they're going to do Direct right after that. But then you'll hear more about what's coming out Switch 2 this year. So that would be cool. It would also make sense because Switch 2 comes out. You got pre-orders out there and people have been like, well, what's the bigger picture for Switch 2 for the rest of the year? Let's find out. We could see that there. And then they could have heavy hitters. They'd be like, hey, you heard about these games on Switch 2, but here's some even bigger surprises that we didn't talk about because we were holding them for this. Here's Halo. Here's who the hell?
What's the
a
other
new
one?
Mario game.
Oh,
Here's
Grand Theft Auto.
Here's Grand Theft Auto. Who knows?
6 is what we're looking
Yeah.
for.
Who knows? Who knows? I'd say Halo's more likely than Grand Theft Auto. I don't know. Microsoft stuff in general is more likely without a doubt. Microsoft has said openly they're going to support the Switch 2. We're just waiting to see what it is. Probably Forza. Probably Indiana Jones.
And I've asked this in
probably,
the past.
Starfield. Bugsnax is everybody. Or Bugsnax. Yes, that's already on everything.
I think,
And that's
I'm
not
pretty
Microsoft,
sure I
that
brought
was
this up and
Sony.
you've told me many times, but Banjo, Kazooie, and stuff like that is currently now owned by Microsoft.
For decades now, yeah.
So those things could come out, or do they still need other
What do you
permissions
mean-
from
What do
somebody?
you mean by that?
like if
Microsoft
they re-released
decides,
or
no other
anything?
decision.
Yeah, okay. So they can.
It's all Microsoft. If Rare did it, Microsoft has to say where it goes now. Yes, that is correct. Now, if Microsoft wanted to re-release something that Nintendo had part in development of, say GoldenEye,
GoldenEye.
then that would be they figured that out, but that took more time. But
Mhm.
yeah, Banjo-Kazooie's Rare. That's why when Banjo-Kazooie was in Smash Brothers, Microsoft had to approve that.
Right.
And they were like, "Hey, put Steve from Minecraft in there." We got to. They didn't do that, but Steve came over. Chicken Jockey. So Switch 2 rumors, Nintendo Directs, first couple weeks of June. We'll all find out together. Conan Giga says not only because it is June, but the fuel for the fire just before the console's launch. I agree with that too. I agree. All right, North American releases. Oh no, I skipped over to Switch Game Boy releases. I'll do that very quickly. If you are Switch Online member, and you like Game Boy, they're game for you. There are 4 Game Boy games, brand new. Nicky Hill, there's one in here you might want to try, and I mean that sincerely.
I just looked at him. I don't know, but continue.
Well, I'm
with
going to
the Kirby one?
explain.
The Kirby one?
No, I will just let me tell you. Happy to
Gradius?
tell you.
Please do.
Available this week for Switch Online members is Survival Kids, Gradius the Interstellar Assault, Kirby's Star Stacker, and The Sword of Hope. Survival Kids is the one you might be interested in because that is the spiritual predecessor to Lost in Blue.
Yeah, I don't think I'm interested in it.
Okay, excellent. And then there's the other ones there.
But when I was watching the trailer, there was like a very nostalgic feel when watching it because
it's literally the predecessor to those games.
Right.
Yeah.
But it also kind of looks like original Legend of Zelda-ish because it's just like the top down or like 3/4 view of with a beach and people walking around.
So
kids surviving in the sort.
4 games. The only one I've played is the Gradius one. I didn't have Kirby Star Stacker back in the day. I remember looking at it at Toys R Us, and I just could never get it. I'm legit pumped for all of these. Like I want to play them all. I really do. And I got so much stuff to play, and I know this week I'm going to end up playing some of these. But they're available right now for Switch Online members. Joe Shabadoo says, "Dang, I haven't thought about Game Boy Gradius in decades. Is it Gradius or Gradius? I can never remember. I always say Gradius, but that could be wrong. I got no clue. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nicky Hill, I believe, said Gradius earlier, but it might have been a joke.
Did I say Gradius?
Play it back. I thought you did. I thought you did as a joke. Yeah.
If I did, it's just or I'm illiterate.
Either one's fine.
We don't know.
I told you I can't read.
All right, now we're doing releases. North America, what do we got for you? I'll tell you. Gonna blast through these. The Bibelot Territzer Will.
What a way to start off.
Advanced VG Saturn Tribute. That's a shmup. Arcade Archives Nebulous Ray. That's a shmup. And that's CGI graphics. Look at that. Casual Sports Series. Badminton. Cats Visiting Fairy Tales. Cattle Country. Cypher. Cookie Clicker. Huge hit Cookie Clicker. Oh my God. That's terrible. Well, let's embrace it. Cookie Clitter is now available. Cookie Clitter is a real big hit as well. Cookie Clicker is a very big hit. I'm not joking. Extremely popular on PC. Now it's available on Switch. What do they call those games?
Sex games.
The click. Wait a minute. Is that one of those IO games or something?
iOS
Cookie Clicker there's like a website where kids in school go to all these things. And
what's the game? Idle games. It's an idle game. Where you can play it a little and you go away and it still does stuff and you come back and you're like, look at all my cookies. Digger Simulator, Gold Rush.
Like Snake IO was another one that has recently come to the Switch. It's
not that, but
it's in the same world. Like it's been
kind of. Duck Detective, The Ghost of Glamping. The MSX version of Hide Glide 2, Extreme 2 Choice, Flag Quiz. Oh my God, we got to get our friend on that. Food Truck Business Simulator, Geno Panic, Ghost Room Deep, Knight's Night. That is night as in night in armor, and then night as in nighttime. Legends Align, Minis in Conflict, Merge Numbers, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered. First time I believe that's ever released outside of Japan. Monster Train 2, Mudness Off-Road Car Simulator Runner. Not 2, A Brain Challenge. Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny. Played that game back in the day and really enjoyed it.
Whoa.
Now it's available on Switch in HD with quality of life improvements and new modes.
Really? The Onimusha 2?
And new
You can get both of them, Onimusha and Onimusha 2, both in HD if you didn't buy the first one already. You can get them as a package digitally for cheaper. I think it's like $28, something like that. Okay, you can buy them individually for more money.
I already own the first one, so that's what my disappointed murmur was.
Pancho's Mission, Pick Race 3D, Pipistrello, and the Curse Yo-Yo. Look that game up. If you like the kind of games that I like, you should look that game up.
You like
it looks goddamn awesome. Planeta 55. Please touch the artwork too. The award-winning Please Touch the Artwork has gotten a sequel. Power Sync, Project Zombie, Sauna of the Dead, don't do it. Soccer Golf, Starlight Legacy, Steam Hearts Saturn Tribute, another shmup. Super Waifu Ball, and yes, that is basically Monkey Ball, or with a waifu in the ball. Tavern Owner Simulator, The Operator, The Town of Nai Aramsubi, Trident's Tale, and finally, Weirdo. No comment on that. Josh, please take us to the star of the show that is
What are
not
the
you.
next European masterpieces?
Hmm.
Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
Thank you, Josh. It's the week of May 22nd, the year of our Lord 2025. We got there.
Year of our Lord.
So Europe, you're getting games this week. Let me clue you into what they are. And excuse my pronunciations. A Bible lot, Turret Sir Will. Airy, Peace of Mind 3. Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Cypher Monk. Cypher. Cookie Clicker. Sorry, you get the E for Everyone version of that one, not the one that we get here in the States. Cozy Winter. Crime Busters 2.
This next one is inappropriate.
Dad's coming.
Oh,
Dad's
boy,
coming.
he is.
He's on his way, is what they're saying.
I'm on my way, honey.
Duck Detective, The Ghost of Glamping. Dungeon of Love, catch monsters to make a perfect anime boyfriend.
Oh my god, I have to
Interesting.
pee.
Me
Is
too.
this list longer?
Make it quick.
Yeah, it's we still got a ways to go. The MSX version of Hydlide 2. Extreme 2 flag choice. Nope. Extreme 2 choice flag quiz. Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time. Food Truck Business Simulator. Ghost Room Deep.
The food truck business simulator. You don't play in the food truck at all. You're just like literally like you count the money at the end and you like buy, the food. I mean, I don't know. It's
You just go from food truck to food. You're like,
just the business
the
part
food?
is the simulator, not the food truck
Oh.
part. So it's even
how'd it go out there today? Give me the cash.
Yeah,
and
just
let me
boring.
settle this register. Ghost Room Deep. That it's just a funny name to me. Hannah's Day. Excuse me. Kamitsubaki City Regenerate. Kamitsubaki City Regenerate. Night. KNIGHT''S. Night, as in opposite of day. Korean drone flying tour. Gapyeong Gun. Okay. Kulabra and the Souls of Limbo. You see this? Check this thing out. Oh, Kulabra. You see these Souls of Limbo? Kulabra. Legends Aligned. Minis in Conflict. Merge Numbers. Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered. Oh, that was loud. I hope everything's okay in there. Monster Train 2. Monstroscopy. Yeah. Read it for yourself. It's on the site. Neon Apex Beyond the Limit. Not 2, a brain challenge. Only Up Cars. Poncho's Mission. Pick Race 3D. Plot of the Druid. Into the toilet? Dropped his phone, he says. Plot of the Druid. Power Sync. Sauna of the Dead. Shadow Forge, Chronicles, and Flames of Damnation. Is that 2 different games? I don't know. Sky Revolver. Sugoi Girls. Raunchy Rabbit.
Ooh.
Super Waifu Ball. Synesthesia. Tavern Owner Simulator. The Tavern Owner Simulator. The Tavern Owner is on the outs with the food truck owner, right? Now you can learn both sides of the business. The Operator. The Town of Nai Iramusubi. Iramusubi? I don't know.
I don't know either. That's a good one.
Thief, Snatch, and Run. Trident's Tale.
Watch your mouth.
Weirdo. And Wizard's Fortress Tower Defense. Ooh,
No, you cannot enter the Wizard's Fortress.
This is there is a comment.
Kalash snuck in there 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, 15. It says 11 for me, but I've been on this page for a minute. Or
Well,
4.
then that's still.
These were some sweet releases. Thank you, Nicky Hill.
Thanks for
Thank
jumping
you,
in there,
Collis.
Kalash. No comment was my fault. Or no, it wasn't. No comment was Nintendo Jam's fault because he marked it news and top story, and if you do both, it takes away the top story thing, so it wasn't on the front page. But it was fixed by me, and it was bettered by Colossus.
That was Nintendo Jam. They're fired now, right?
I mean,
Let's just say Charles Martinez
they
on
do
his
Thursday.
way.
They do Thursday mornings, which is really important. So I'm not going to fire them. But,
Okay.
Mom Brain,
Until Friday.
what have you been playing?
Nothing.
Sunday, I'll fire.
Are we hiring Wednesday? Oh,
Nothing?
fire
Okay.
Friday.
Nikki Hill, what have you been playing?
Nothing.
Okay,
at
excellent.
all.
Dude, what have you been playing?
What haven't I? I played some Animal Crossing, New Horizons. I'm having a devil of a time finding a vampire squid out in the ocean, but other than that, we're doing okay. I got to
chum the water.
I got to go between 4 p.m. and 9 a.m. I gotta go. So first of all, that's like abnormal time for me.
That's a long span. It's 4 p.m. to 9 a.m.
Well, that's the time period which the vampire squid could be available to catch.
Right.
So
That's
I just,
good. Why do you want it to be smaller?
No, that's such a long span of time.
Yeah, why is that bad?
Could be any time between then. You got to play.
Yes.
You got to play all that time.
What? You're so strange.
It's no, you don't play the whole time. I have to sign on to play at some point in that time frame because that's when it would be available.
Right.
Because I'm swimming in the ocean, I'm seeing little bubbles, I dive and I grab whatever's down there. Chances of getting it are really bad. Like it was 5 p.m. and I played for about 45 minutes and I swam all around and picked up maybe 50 animals and none of them were the vampire squid I was looking for. So
I know. That's what I mean. If it's a rare fish or whatever you call it.
You want them to give you an hour to get it?
well, it's rare.
Well, if it's only available for an hour, you have a better chance of getting this rare thing if it's going to be there within the hour. But if it's because you only have 60 minutes to get it, but if it's going to be there for
How would that mean how would that
I don't
mean you
know
have a
if-
better chance?
Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly how it works.
You have the same chance no matter how many hours. It's just you get more hours to try and get it. Like let's say it's a 15% chance.
I guess
it's
I'm
a
just
50%
thinking, my
chance no
thought
matter
process
what.
if it's rare and it's only going to come up one time within this time frame, then I'd rather have an hour to get it than
I don't know.
you
I don't
know?
know exactly how it works
like
because
if he's trying between 4 and 5, but it's really going to come up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, but it's
not work that way. It's not work that way. I don't know games.
yeah, it's the rarity. Like it'll have like a percentage of showing up during that whole time
Okay.
period. So
Alright.
whether it was 1 hour or 10 hours, it's going to be
and
the same.
it is rare because it's only available like May, June, July from those
You're running out
times.
of time.
So yeah,
Get home.
yeah. So I gotta go. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing on there, and it's going just fine. And then there's
fine.
Fortnite. Fortnite, I have to say, we've been having a good time, but I have to say, I'm over Darth Vader's AI. I hate him. He's so annoying. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk to him anymore.
Voice?
It's not the voice that's annoying, it's what he says to you. So like we've tried to like make interesting conversation with him, but he picks up what it does is it like picks one word. It's really good at like knowing what you're saying and like replying, but it does it with like an attitude like he's Darth Vader because he has to be a villain.
It's like literally talking with you. Like
You are having a conversation with AI. Yeah.
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Well, you didn't
I
hear
don't
the
know.
podcast last week, so
No.
you wouldn't know this.
I apologize.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like you drop in, he's a boss on the map. You fight him. If you beat him, he'll join you, and he's an AI with James Earl Jones's voice, and he talks to you, and you can
I heard that's an
say
issue.
whatever you want. I don't think it is an issue.
For SAG, it's
SAG, it's an issue.
but
So,
for-
like,
Oh, really?
His
They-
estate gave them permission, but then the SAG community is like, no.
Yeah, SAG needs its little piece.
yeah, I
Well,
don't know
no,
how I
because
feel about
opens
that.
it opens the door, I guess.
I mean, like Jesus, I'm going to be honest
But
here,
they gave-
and
they
this
gave
also comes
permission,
from
so
a
they're
place of
consent-
ignorance.
consent.
The man is dead, and before he died, he said, "Yes, you're allowed to do this with my voice." So now SAG's going to be like, "No, you're not." What do you mean? The man's dead. It was.
Well, I didn't know if he specifically or his family is.
No, before he died, he signed it over to Disney. He said, "If you want to have Darth Vader and my voice and AI, you're cool."
Oh.
So, what's SAG going to say about it? Like? Again, I'm sure there's things I don't know,
Well,
and I'm
then,
sure I
I
sound
mean,
ignorant at some point.
Maybe the problem there is that like if enough people die with giving permission, then now we can just do things with their likeness
I mean, yeah, but they got to give permission. So if you're somebody who's against it,
No,
don't
no,
give
no, no.
permission.
Now, what I'm saying is like, if enough people do that,
Yeah.
now we just use them for all of our projects and go AI with things and use their likenesses or whatever, and we don't have to hire people anymore because
I
we
mean,
can do everything with them. You know,
That's already happening now, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sure, like celebrities kicking a bucket, and then you got. I wish I could think of a. Then you got Pee Wee Herman selling. Give me somebody say something.
well,
funny.
no, then you have Norm in
funny.
in Fortnite.
Bow
Yeah.
ties.
Norm
you
selling
know,
beer.
Well, he fights with beer, right? He's swinging around a mug instead of
Oh.
an
No,
axe
he doesn't drink
shovel.
chug jugs. He drinks beer.
Okay. Well, what else? What does he fight with? A bar stool? Let's do it.
What does he
Make
got?
it happen, Fortnite.
What does he do? He doesn't do anything. He wears.
If
Yeah.
Cliff
if it was
Cliff would
we
be
got plenty to work with.
I
The
know,
mailman and everything. What does Norm
like
do?
a male satchel.
Speaking of all this, Diarrhea Perlman's in Poker Face.
Diarrhea?
That's her full name.
And
Oh, Rhea. Gotcha.
Diarrhea Perlman.
By the way, respects and rest in peace, George Wendt. I didn't want to just make light
George
of
gone.
his passing.
yeah,
Norm.
But I
That's
didn't.
what they said when he got up there at the pearly gates.
Yeah, I
Then he told
I
a
didn't
funny
know that
joke
he
about
was-
beer and everybody.
he's
laughed.
like, was he Jason Sudeikis' uncle or something, or is that I
They're-
misread
Bill
that? I
Hader's-
misread that.
I
thing.
think I want to say Bill Hader.
Oh.
Maybe I don't know. You
you
might
guys
be right.
know that stuff better than
I mean,
do.
I saw a headline and I probably misread it because we all know how I am illiterate. But continue. I'm sorry. Fortnite.
SAG is saying you have to offer it to living people first. This is what Drake is saying. I don't know if that's their argument or not, but I don't know why you would have to do that.
Well, I'm
You're taking
guessing they're
work
trying
from
to
people?
set some kind of precedent.
I'm not saying it's
this.
wrong. I'm not
Yeah,
saying that's
I
wrong.
think
I'm just
that's
saying I don't know
the
why.
trouble. Because probably like I don't think what I said is like crazy.
I don't think it's crazy either, but it's not like for the last 10 years we haven't already been living in
No,
that
but
world. Like the Echo has its own voice. Like they all do this already.
Like James Earl Jones passed away, and then Luke Skywalker or Mark Hamill dies, and then we already lost Carrie Fisher. So now, we're like halfway to
Well,
a new Star Wars.
But we've already got a CGI Luke, a CGI Leia, a CGI Grand Moff Tarkin.
But-
We've got Ian Holm in the Alien movie.
But is it AI voices, or are they including, like, are there other voice actors providing the voices? That's where you know what I mean? So that's
I
like,
only know how they did the Luke one.
it's like hiring an actor to do the voice for a CGI
This
character.
is the first time for me as a Force ghost.
Well, anyway, yes.
No, it's all very interesting conversation, and I completely
It's a
agree
lot
with
bigger
what you're
than us.
saying.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. There's things to be dissected and picked apart and discussed and ironed out, and there's
I mean,
no right or wrong here.
especially with the Google release that they just did this past week. It's like freaking crazy to see some
What
of
was
that
this?
footage.
Oh, I saw that. I saw they had like
Yeah.
a fake
Like a frying pan frying onions, and it looked pretty
they
damn
had like a
believable.
streamer playing Fortnite, and it was
and like a fisherman on a boat.
yep. But anyway,
But anyway, yeah, Darth Vader AI is starting to annoy me just because everything you ask him, he'll pick up on something you said, and then he'll ask you a question back. And it's so for instance, I was like, Darth Vader, what do you think of Qui-Gon Jinn?
I don't know. What do you think?
And he was like, Qui-Gon Jinn, you say? What's your obsession with asking about a has-been Jedi? And it's like, and then I talked back to him, and I was playing as Emperor Palpatine at the time, and I said, well, he was Qui-Gon Jinn was kind of your father figure when you were growing up, when you were a young boy, and then when you got older, I was kind of your father figure. And I'm saying all this, and I was like, so what do you, I guess I was just trying to ask, like, who do you think was a better father figure? And then he's just like, who was a better father figure, you say? Why is your obsession with familial instincts? And it's like, I'm enough. I don't even want to hear it. Like, if you're just going to keep asking me questions, no matter how, because, we were like, who do you think Princess Leia's hot? Who, we'd ask those stupid questions, and we got crappy answers too. But like, I thought my dad questions were really, really good. And when he came back with this crap, I was like, I don't even want to hear from you anymore. I mean, one of our friends lit a campfire, and he was just like, Calrissian lighting a campfire. What do you need warmth? Because you're so you're a wimp and you need a warm hug or a warm embrace. And it was like, Jesus, man, he didn't even say anything to you. He lit a campfire.
This is after he joins your team.
Yes, he's supposed to
Why
be
is he such a
teammate.
jerk?
It's
a
terrible.
jerk. He's a jerk. He's
It's
Darth Vader. He's a
terrible.
bad guy.
But yeah, so that just reminds me of like terrible chatbots from like the late 90s or something, right? Where like you would
I'm
have a
going to push back
conversation.
on this because I'm not in the same boat as him. Yes, the question thing where he asks questions. Yes, I agree he does that. But I mean, it's just stupid fun. I know,
but
being
it-
a
but that
bad
takes us-
guy.
That takes me back to like the late 90s, early 2000s, where like we would have conversations with chatbots over like the stupidest things, and like we all know that it's fake, but we still
I
do
need
it
to
because
stress
it just,
that it's way better than that. But it is basically, a chatbot. Yes, but it's not like, the chatbots back then made sense where you're like, I feel the limitations. The problem with this is he will very often be like, blah blah blah, you say, but then he will say an organic response after that. Like
he's
he'll-
vamping. He's trying to like burn some
yeah,
time to
I've
come up
thought
with a
of
good
that. I
answer.
honestly don't know how much of it is processing because it's doing it live on the fly with
For
millions of people
millions of
playing.
people.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking they're
Which
like,
is
we need a.
actually that's freaking terrifying.
I was thinking they're like, we need this needs to be queued and processed, but in a very quick amount of time. So if we have him just repeat part of it, that gives us a 1-2
Right.
second buffer, and then he can go for the answer. I don't know. It's all speculation. They haven't released the specifics of how it all works, but
I've seen some crazy stuff online. I don't know if any of it's real, but I saw one where somebody was at a Jar Jar Binks NPC who like sells a chug jug for 600 gold or something, and he didn't have 600 gold, and he was like, Vader, negotiate the price with Jar Jar. I can only pay 100, and like he like talked back and forth a couple of times, and then like he got him to lower the price to 100 gold. I don't
did
know if
not
it was
see that.
I don't know if it's real, but if it was, it's like really cool because there's things like that make it like, holy cow, I didn't know you could take it this far. But then, when you're asking him these questions and he just kind of was like, whatever, blah, 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 you say, and then like is a jerk to you asking you a question. It's like, just answer the question. Just answer it. I don't care if you're wrong or
so
what. Like,
you're just
answer it.
annoyed that he answers the question with a question.
And like, I wouldn't mind if it was leading to a great conversation. I'd answer his question, but like it never does. Like it always leads to a new question. So I was getting frustrated with him, believe it or not, but as you could tell. But anyways, it's not like ruined anything for me. I still would land there and get him. It's still fun to have him. He does cool things. And
He's
I
a
love
pain
Star
in the ass
Wars.
at the end of the game when I'm going up against him. I know that. If he's on somebody else's team, he flies out of nowhere or force pulls you towards him and
Yeah,
beats the crap out
at
of you.
least twice I've been foiled at the end. Maybe not even killed by him, but foiled enough
Yeah.
where like it's cost me a game.
Yeah.
So it's it's still fun. Still enjoying it. And then played a little bit more Balatro on the PlayStation. But what I've really been playing this week is on the Switch, something called The Mummy Demastered.
Oh my God! What the hell happened?
So
Tom Cruise
So
is in
Tom-
the movies
he's
again.
on-
We had
he's
to
in the
chat
Tom
about it
Cruise
last
movie.
week.
I've
What was the conversation last week?
We talked about the Mummy Demastered
Oh,
because he asked me about Shantae, and
That
I
makes
was like,
sense.
they know how to make Metroidvanias, and it led me to the Mummy Demastered.
yeah. So I've had it since the game came out because you were talking about it even back then, RMC, and I've never played more than like 5 minutes. I've tried like twice and never played more than 5 minutes, so that doesn't count. And then after all that talk last week and just thinking about something, like I wanted to play something new, but I didn't want it to be like, because I'm coming off of Kingdom Come Deliverance and Cyberpunk, so I was like, I don't want it to be this huge open
Yeah.
world thing. A little more structure would be fun, and like, I don't know. I don't really know what it was. It was I had the game
I know.
already. I've had it, so I was like, you know what? Why don't I just play it? I like Metroidvanias, so I gave it a better chance this time around, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. The music is awesome,
Music
man. The
soundtrack's so good.
music is so good.
That soundtrack was the first soundtrack WayForward did with a new composer because I used to work with Vert all the time, and then Vert went over to Yacht Club. So I was very nervous when that game came out, but I was like, "Ooh, this soundtrack's really good." And now that's the guy that does Shantae soundtracks, and Shantae soundtracks are still very
Cool.
good. So.
Yeah, I mean the soundtrack's great. The game's great. It's really cool. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a shame that that movie stinks so
I
bad
know.
because it's like a really great game. It's challenging, but it's not too challenging for a guy like me. But I don't like the challenges. So for me, I've been getting like I'll play and not even come close to dying, and then I'll get to a boss and I'll die like 30 times trying to fight him. So that's my frustration. I guess if you think about it, that's the point of video game bosses. Like, it's supposed to be like a difficulty spike that stops you from continuing until you are skilled enough to do it. So it shouldn't be a problem. But in my head, it's like, I had no problem playing for 2 hours and not dying. Why can't I beat this boss? But it's also one of those things where I'll play it 20 times, die 20 times, and then the next morning I'll pick it up and play and beat them on the first time. That's happened twice out of the 3 bosses I've fought so far. So other than that, and the fact that, I mean, maybe it's coming, but I'm like, I like to think I'm pretty far into this game, and like, I don't have a double jump yet. So I don't think it's coming, but maybe there'll be something that will let me get higher, because there's a few places where it looks like you can get up in there. But it's very Metroidvania, like the map system is how it is, the upgrade system, that whole thing. I like it because you play as like a soldier, so like you get guns. It's not like most Metroidvanias, you're like a quirky little weirdo or creature, or like maybe you're Samus and your guns open the doors or whatever. But like in this, it's like you got guns, and they're guns, and you choose what guns you want, and there's ammo for them, and
I kind of liked that. Like,
they're
there's something to
badass.
it.
The guns are really cool. So I'm digging most of that stuff. But yeah, actually, this morning I just got to this clock tower part, and I was so frustrated that I had to go back and save it. So hopefully I will be in the mindset to keep going, because I am really enjoying this game. But if this clock tower bit is, I don't know. Again, this is all in my own head, but like, I hate giant difficulty spikes. I hate when I can play for 5 hours and not have a problem, and then all of a sudden I can't beat a section for like a day. I can't stand that. But that's my own thing, and that's a skill issue as well. But as far as the game's concerned, I would say, heck, if you're not going to play this game, listen to the soundtrack online or something, because it's really great stuff.
Yep.
And it's got great, like, it's got throwback graphics. Like, the graphics, the game runs great, looks great, but it's got like a Super Nintendo, like a high-end Super Nintendo feel.
It definitely has a Super Nintendo
The
feel.
animation is great, especially with the mummy itself. Like, as you play the game, you'll encounter the mummy, and she's getting stronger as you see her, and each time you see her, she's like a little bit more realized, because she's been feeding on humans and like getting stronger. It's really, really cool, and the animation of it is really cool. So I'm having fun playing the Mummy Demastered.
Is Russell Crowe in the game?
That's one of my problems with it. Is
Not enough Crow.
It's not. It's based on the movie, but there's none of the characters in it. So you play as a no-name soldier, and if you die, instead of like restarting, like reloading, you play as a different unknown soldier that has to kill the zombie version of yourself to get your weapons back. So it's kind of like, I kind of like that. It's a
different way of handling
it. It's cool. I like it, but it's also frustrating too, because when you keep dying at the boss, you have to like fight yourself before the boss, and it gets kind of frustrating.
Is your zombie self stronger than you are now, though?
To be honest,
like, you spend time building up your character and then you die. Do you have it?
Well, that's what's cool. Well, that's what's cool is like the zombie self will use your weapons against you. So the more powerful you are when you die, the more powerful the zombie is going to be. But when you I don't think it's not that big of a deal, because when you kill your zombie self, he drops not only all your stuff but like a ton of health. So even if he like beat the crap out of you, chances are you'll be fine once you kill him. But I haven't died to my zombie self yet, and I wonder if you lose those weapons, but it probably
I don't
can't
remember.
be, because like you have to
You'd end up
actually
being so underpowered.
I don't think it would work like that, because and these are weapons that you can't, they're like power-ups. You
Yeah.
find them in a room and it's like, everything stops the way.
But is it, if like you die and you don't recover what your zombie self has, then maybe you lose? Or is that what you're saying?
That's what I was
Oh, okay.
wondering.
Yeah,
But it couldn't be like that. It would be way too
there's
difficult.
got to be something else in there. Yeah, I don't remember.
But yeah, it's a fun game. I'm glad that I finally started sticking it out. I mean, like I said, I've had it for years and never gave it a fair shake. And that's how it is with me. Like it's not that you can't be trusted. It's obviously the opposite of that. I mean, how many games have you recommended that I'd never even heard of that I've played and then ended up loving? So it's just, I think a lot of it has to do with just my mindset going into the game. Am I ready to put forth the effort to getting into a Metroidvania when I'm thinking about open world games or vice versa, or who knows what? So I'm glad that I stuck it out so far with this one. It's really cool, really fun, great music. I can't stress the music enough. And this game has like, I know obviously it's in the name Metroidvania, but like it's got so much Castlevania like love in it, like all the enemies like feel like Castlevania. The music, while its own thing and it's all great, a lot of the music is like, this could be in a Castlevania game. Like,
There's
this
definitely
is
some songs
awesome
in here that would work. Yeah,
and because of the mummy type thing, there's a lot of cool like places that you go. Like I like the
I
environments.
remember
that you
really
go.
liking the environments. Yeah,
And that kind of stuff, because in a Metroidvania like that, I mean, the backgrounds, they could do so much cool stuff with the animation in the backgrounds, and like this one's no different. It's like really looks great. A lot of cool areas to explore. So digging it, has like a cool Castlevania feel, and I would recommend it to anyone who likes games like that. The Mummy
well, I'm
Demastered.
glad you're enjoying it mostly.
Yeah, mostly. If it were less challenging, that would be great. But other than that, good for me playing that game. RMC, what about you? Have you been playing anything?
Thanks for asking. I played Fortnite as usual. Nothing really else to say about that. Having fun, and it's a great time. I played a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Played a little bit more. I don't know that I would say a little. What?
The Mummy Demastered is currently at $7.99 on sale until May 29th.
It's a steal.
It's worth it.
It's a steal.
Yeah, it's $20.
60% off.
It's $20 otherwise. So I would say for $8, definitely worth it.
Yeah. I mean, it's an amazing game. I played a couple more hours of Alan Wake 2. I have gotten to the chapter where it's my first time playing as Alan. I haven't done it yet, but you wake up in like a green room for some talk show. I don't know what's going on yet, but
Oh yeah.
so I've been playing it and I'm enthralled by the story. It's very interesting to me, and as we said already, I like the mind place stuff. That like the story is by far my favorite part of the game. The game has been disappointing me a bit in terms of gameplay. I remember really liking Alan Wake, the original, especially when it came to like lighting up enemies with the flashlight and like having them burst and then taking them out. And in this, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as satisfying to me. It's hard to say. I don't know what it is, but it just feels like the game looks more real, and we lost some of the like game element of it. I don't know. Maybe it'll change as it goes on, but it just doesn't feel as good.
That's a real criticism, because I remember finding that very satisfied to like shine your light until their dark shield breaks. That point was very satisfying, like you said.
Yeah.
And in this, that still happens, but it's not quite the same. And sometimes, and like, the idea is to kill the shield and then you can shoot them.
Yeah.
And sometimes in this, I found that the shield wouldn't necessarily be broken when you would start shooting.
That's what I
at them.
remember in the old game. It was very much like a and like a crack, and you like definitely know what was going on in
Yeah.
this. And in this, you don't. In Alan Wake 2, you don't get that same kind of feedback. It's not as visceral and it's not as obvious, and it's kind of disappointing. So it doesn't make it like I remember that for me was almost as good as Resident Evil 4, where you'd like pop somebody in the head with the gun or like kick them, like or stomp their head. Like it felt
Right.
so satisfying. That's how I remembered Alan Wake. In this game, you're not getting that. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of disappointing.
It makes the game more I mean, there's a little more tension when you're playing it. I found that I was a little more tense playing it because of that, because it made the enemies seem a little bit more unpredictable. But I'd rather have the satisfaction of the gun gameplay, because that was part of what made Alan Wake so great. This one, the story, like you said, the story is so strong, and I think as you go on, you'll get more opportunities for the gun gameplay, and you'll get better at it. But like, I agree with you that was, I noticed the difference, and I kind of missed. There's a satisfaction of that, like you said, the sound effects, that everything that went with it was.
I'd have to go look at old footage of the game to see how much is rose tinted glasses versus what I actually remember. But yeah, I just remember it being more satisfying. And I got to the old naked man who is running around out in the woods, and you get to a part where you gotta.
But how are you liking the game? Can we get back to the game?
You gotta fight him, or you get there, and Saga, the main character, that's her name, right? She's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta run away. And I'm like, okay. So like I shoot him, and like he whatever, and sends the red wave of garbage out. And then she's like, I gotta get out of here. I'm like, okay, I'll run. So then I'm running, and like he pops up and scares you, and you're running and you're running. And I'm like, I've been running a really long time. I think I have to fight this guy and not run. And I eventually ran to the point where I was like, I've been in this area already. This is a big circular nothing. And I'm like, I wish she didn't make a point of saying, I have to run. I need to run, because you don't. You need to stay and fight the guy. And I'm like, I wasted like 20 minutes doing this.
I remember complaining about that on the podcast, because that was the first big boss, right? And I remember being like, I hope the bosses aren't this confusing, because she was telling me to run.
Yes.
And I think what it was is he does something that makes him invincible for like 10 seconds, and that's when you run. I think that
sends out that red wall of whatever, and you have to run away from that.
That was her point. But like, as a lifelong video gamer,
you
know, you're sending mixed messages to the player.
You definitely are. It was frustrating. And then you gotta like load up on that guy. Like you shoot him a lot. I was like, man, I'm like really.
It was once you were running around
on this guy.
When you're running around, you're like finding all this ammo, and you're like, thank goodness, because this guy's really sponging it.
Plus, like that whole thing, it's like dark, and you're bumping into trees, and you're trying to put the flashlight on the guy, and he sends out that wall that knocks you down, and I'm like,
I was frustrated. That boss fight really frustrated me. I remember complaining about it, because you're not that skilled yet as far as the gameplay goes.
You've had maybe 3 encounters where you're shooting someone before that, and it's him in the morgue, it's the guy that has the deer head, and then I want to say like one wolf, and that's the only times you've shot anything up to that point. And then it's like boss fight, and I'm like, what do you? I haven't even gone through like waves of regular enemies yet. Let me get a better feel of what's going on here. There's like one section where there's a couple guys that come out of the swamp water, I think, but other than that, most of it is wandering around, talking to people, and getting the story. You haven't really done a lot of like traditional gameplay. So
that was, from what I remember, that was probably the high water mark of the frustration for me. And then it got way better. There is a fight later that I got frustrated with, but it's nowhere near kind of like, you're so much more seasoned as a player by then that like it's not even in the same league as how frustrating that first boss battle is.
But I'm still enjoying it. I'm going through the story. Like I said, is killing it. All I can think of while I'm playing this is how much you need to play it. I don't know if you're going to be able to handle it, and I don't need that. I'm not saying that to be mean because we
Yeah.
were struggling with it.
Yeah, and there's no
But the story and the way the story's told is so up your alley. It's ridiculous. Like there's just sections where you hear the narrator, Alan, as he's reading pages of the manuscript or whatever that he wrote, and you're just like in a log cabin room, and they like show you like an owl that's just sitting staring at you, and like it's so much stuff. There's so much.
And
stuff.
you haven't even seen anything yet. I mean, you just got to Alan. It gets real weird with Alan. Like,
it seems like it's gonna get real
like
weird.
Alan's whole story might as well be in like the red room or whatever that is, like with the red curtain. It's all so weird but awesome. And I'm glad that you're loving the story because that
definitely
pulled me through.
I'm
it. Like,
100% in on the story.
I played so much of it, I think, to find out what was going to happen.
I'm all in on the story. The only thing is like the goddamn NPCs standing around talking to each other again. It's really ruining it for me. You come out of that fight, and Alan and the other FBI agent are talking to each other. You know, Alan, who's been gone for 13 years, and they talk to each other, and it's like, we got to get you to a car. We'll get you cleaned up, and then whatever. And then they both just stand there staring at each other. I'm like, are you going to go to the car? And then he looks at me and he's like, I don't remember the exact conversation, but he's like, what should I get for my daughter's birthday? She needs a whatever. And I don't know. And Saga's like, oh, she's not. He like suggests something. And Saga's like, she's 13. She's not going to like that. She wants this, that, or the other thing. And I'm like, the man who's been missing for 13 years is standing right next to you, covered in blood and mud, and you're gonna have a talk about this kid's birthday party? Like, go to the car. What's going on? It's just it frustrates me, but I'm still enjoying it. Nowhere near like a level of frustration that I wouldn't be playing it. For me, as someone who's played Control, have you played Control? I never remember.
I tried. I don't.
For me, as someone who's played Control, there's so many story things that are happening in this already where I'm like, oh, these are these guys and they're doing this thing. And I'm like, this is great. So
Yeah.
I'm connected.
It
They're all
is,
connected. Yeah. And now Remedy has FBC Firebreak coming out, which is like a team tactical online shooter. But the FBC is a part of this whole universe. And they're talking a lot about the FBC where I'm at in Alan Wake 2 so far. And I'm like, this is great. Like, I know about this from Control because it's a major part of Control. And then the new game coming out is all about the FBC and you play as them. So I'm like, I love this interconnected stuff. This is awesome. But yeah, maybe one day you'll get around to Control again and give it a shot. Especially now that you've played Alan Wake, you'll probably get a lot more out of it. You'll be like, oh, this is all this and this ties into this. And because like there's the part where you get to the cabin that's abandoned and they have the video camera set up and you see that they've been doing the experiments with the kids to like read them nursery rhymes basically, and see what they can manifest in the real world, and they need objects of power. And I'm like, this is all Control stuff, because you learn about that in Control. You don't hear about that stuff in Alan Wake, really, the first game, but in Control, like that's the whole thing that's going on in Control. I'm like, this is really cool that this ties in this way. So
that's the reaction I had when watching the last episode of The Rehearsal, when he was like, oh, I kind of made that promise to myself that I would never do anything with like kid related stuff again.
Man, the ending of the most recent episode was so awkward.
It was very awkward.
Oh my God. But anyway, that's what I've been playing. Let's do questions. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
They can be about Nintendo video games in general, or whatever the hell you want. Red Souza asks, over the last few months, I've been trying to work on a comic project that I keep procrastinating on. Good for you for the comic, not the procrastinating, but we all do that. So I wanted to know about the crew's experience with personal projects or ideas that they had that they were trying to work on, but just lost track of. Since RMC has so many daily obligations like the Patreon, I want to know, is there any secret to keeping it consistent? Well, I can tell you the consistency part. Yes. If it's me doing something for someone else, it's very easy for me to do it because I know someone else either needs it or expects it or wants it. So then I do it and it's not a problem. If it's like a pet project or something I'm just doing, I will procrastinate and let it fall by the wayside all the time. So yeah, having that outward, I don't want to say force, but that outward thing there motivating me is a huge deal for me. But the list of projects I want to do and things I want to try and things I want to experience and things I want to like check out is forever long. And I just, there will be, I mean, time's one thing, you know, and we're getting older, so I'm more tired, and I'm still COVID rocked me. I still am more tired now than I ever was before COVID, but all of that lumped in with like, just to get over the hurdle of actually doing it. And I can do that with movies and TV shows and games. Like I can really do it with TV shows and movies. I can just be like, I'll get to a point where I finish something. I'm like, so much stuff to watch. What do I do? And I'm like, doesn't matter. It just go on a list. And I'm like, number 18, pick it and watch it. And that's it. So that doesn't matter. Games, I've been in a little bit more of a funk because they're not as passive as movies or TV shows are, but I'm much better about it there. But projects outside of that, yeah, it's tough. There's so many things I want to do. There's so many like videos I want to record. This idea of me doing a Twitch stream where I watch an episode of The Price is Right and react to it genuinely as I normally do has been sticking in my head since we first brought that up. I think it's such a cool idea. It's something I would be really into. It's just adding one layer to something I already do anyway. And I just think it would be great. I really want to do it, but I've done literally nothing to set it up. So I need to change that, but it's like that with a whole bunch of things. So I got no way to tell you on how to do the stuff, the personal project or ideas, if it's just you, because I'm right there with you. But if it's other people expecting it or wanting it or needing it, then yeah, I don't have a problem with it. You guys?
Yeah, I have that same problem. I have a lot of things that I want to do, but then I get hung up on small elements of it, and I don't really move forward. But if it's doing something for somebody else, I tend to follow through more. And then there's also like, the external elements of like people who are just like, just got to take that first, all the motivational people. And they're like, oh, you just got to do it. You just got to take that first step. And that that stresses me out even more.
I was going to say it's hard because I know a lot of people hear that.
Because for some people, yeah, that is all they have to do. But for me, it's like, yeah, I try, like, because when I do take those steps to try, and I'm like really struggling through stuff, I know you got to just work through it. But then like, I get bogged down with other things, and then then it makes me feel like I'm more of a failure. So like, you got to just take it at your own pace. And if you can do a little bit here and there to kind of, move yourself along, I guess, but I don't know.
There's that voice inside the head, that self-defeating talk. I think everybody has it to a degree.
Oh, I bring it out.
It's tough. There was a girl on this season of Survivor who is very much like that, but she realizes it as the season's going on, and she's like, even the host Jeff was like, you spend a lot of time talking about how you can't do something and how it's not going to be possible, but when you hear other people saying that, you stop them right away. And she's like, it's a bad quality of mine. She's like, I really think it in my head all the time. She's like, I'm always telling myself, you can't do this. This is impossible. This is a waste of time. And she was talking about just being on Survivor and being out on the island for 26 plus days. You got nothing but your thoughts. And she's like, I got to stop doing this. Like, especially in this game, because I want to try and win, but it's tough. Lots of people deal with it. Mom brain?
I got nothing. I agree with all you.
I just earned a master's degree and became a certified behavior analyst, board certified behavior analyst. Thank you. And it was a massive struggle to start. And what always gets me over the hurdle is
Kermit the Frog.
Well, sometimes is when I think, well, the time's gonna pass anyway. Like this time, because what gets me is like, oh, it's going to take so long. Yikes. Like, I don't even know what to do. It's going to take forever and I don't want to do it. And if I remind myself, well, that time's going to pass anyway, and you're either going to have made progress towards whatever it is or you're not, then I think like, oh, yeah. So like, I could be,
Hi, Afternoobs.
Not to say that makes it easy, and not to say that there aren't, 100 other things I have considered accomplishing in my life. I think sometimes the right moment strikes and it all comes together, and sometimes you have to create the right moment.
Or struggle through all the wrong moments.
Doesn't
sound like, but yeah.
And I also think it's like, I know it's incredibly like overused, but like literally like just one little step at a time, one little thing at a time,
Mhm.
I think is really helpful because I tend to see like the huge picture, but then I can't break it down into the little tiny steps. So, you know, for me, those things have been helpful, but I can't say it always helps. It always works. Like
Right.
it, you know.
Yeah, it all ebbs and flows.
I will also just throw this out there. Maybe it's complete wrong take, and I shouldn't be saying this to people.
Uh-oh.
But
Give up.
when you're doing something creative, for myself, when I'm doing something creative, having a community, having somebody to partner with, is a huge help. When it comes to like the creative world out there, whether it's film, television, music, comic books, stuff like
Games.
that, games, there are a lot of examples where we see this is done by one person. But I think in the reality, as much as it's marketed that way, I think it's still a collaborative element from a lot of different people. It is really hard to go all in on one thing or solo on a project. I think collaboration and like community or whatever is a huge thing, and it helps. If you hit a roadblock, you can bounce things off other people can provide input, and then you can kind of grow and develop that way. Otherwise you're putting way too much pressure on yourself, and that's what I do, because like I'm stuck in this thought of like no one's going to help me, I just have to do it by myself. But there are people out there who are probably interested in helping. If they don't know what it is now, if you give them you don't want to give out all your info and show all your cards, but like there's a community out there for all of us, I think, and it kind of helps build and can help us excel. Period. Done. I don't know how to end things.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
The Red Suze also says, I love drawing, but I just keep putting this comic on the long finger, and how is it going to get drawn sitting on my finger? Yeah, well, now you told us about it, so
What is
bad
the long
move.
finger? I've
You
never
have
heard
to-
of this.
Look it up.
Do you know it?
No, I just thought they were
I
talking
like
about
this.
how it's on the the tip of their finger.
Yeah.
Now you told
like
us about it, and we want to see it, so now you got to do it. You got to do at least one page. We got to see it. We also have a Patreon question. Mom Brain, did you know you could join the Patreon?
For $1.
For $1. Aaron Cup did, and they asked this question. What town in any video game would you like to live in? I'm a practical girl, so I'm drawn to Tucson and Earthbound. It has a
Mhm.
farmer's market, a mall, theater, pizza shop, hospital, great bus service to all sorts of other towns around the land. Well, I
I
would
was
love
just
to,
thinking that. Yeah.
I'd love to live in Tucson after, Nets and everybody fixes it. Yeah, not beforehand, but
Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson.
Tucson.
All the town names are 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's,
Oh, gotcha. It is an Irish English phrase
there you go.
about procrastinating, basically, but
On the long finger.
putting it on the long finger. I like it.
This one.
Oh.
Anywhere else?
For
you
everyone
guys?
listening and not watching, he
I
stuck
gave
his
Nicky
middle
Hill the finger.
finger. He
Tall
did
man,
the
if you will.
Where do you want to live at in a video game?
Oh, man, there's so many places.
Delfino Isle.
Mm.
That's what I was thinking.
Silent Hill. Where would I Earthbound is such a good one. There's so many spots in Earthbound. I want to live with the Mr. Saturns. And that, like, man, they got that nice hot spring there. And they got that coffee place, and they got the caves, and they're a whole bunch of weirdos. I'm down with that.
It's not bad.
I gotta think about that. There's so many. You wouldn't want to live in wherever Shantae lives? You don't really. I guess you're not a big water fan. Or you like baths?
I like Shantae's house, and she's got a really great bath. But the town itself,
and the thing about Shantae is sometimes she gets in there with you.
But there are the town baths in Shantae, and there's nothing else really in the town I would want. But Shantae's house is really nice. It's way on the outskirts. It's on the beach. It's got a great bathtub. It's got great lighting. It's a great house. I like that house. Not a bad spot.
Oh man, I sent him down a path.
I was thinking about it.
I don't know.
Mario and Luigi have a nice house in the Paper Mario games. Nice little cottage they hang out in. That's pretty nice.
Maybe the Mushroom Kingdom. I like eating mushrooms sometimes.
Don't I suggest Donut Plains? Very nice there.
Donut Plains has been in my mind since you mentioned it. Yeah. Did you know? For the Pac-Man anniversary, Krispy Kreme has some Pac-Man
Did you know that, Mumbry?
themed.
Where?
We
Okay.
did know that because
Did you get
we
it?
got ShopRite had it.
I'm glad I didn't bring them.
I'm not glad because I would have eaten more. It's 3 regular donuts and 3 fancy donuts.
One was a chocolate cream or something.
One's a chocolate
Think
cream,
about
one's a
that.
strawberry cream, and one's basically a regular donut but with like a
Yeah, they do
yellow icing on
And
the
then
top.
they do that a lot.
But they're all good. They were all
No,
good.
but I don't. Sometimes I get upset because I think it's a cream filled when it's just iced over a hole.
Mm.
I'm like, you.
Oh no,
come
this
on,
was
debate
like
switch.
the hole was open. You could see the hole.
Okay, but they do it.
Wide open holes.
They do it sometimes.
You
though,
know where
they
we
cover
went
that hole and
yesterday?
you take a bite and you're like, and then you get it all over your mouth because you sunk in too far.
I'll tell you where we went yesterday. But first, you have a town. You want to say something?
It's town, right?
Any video game? It's just any. Yeah, what town in any video game you most like to live in?
Come back to me. I had it, but I lost it
Because I was sorry. That's why I tried to get to you.
I was thinking about something
Nicky
else.
Hill. We went to the new Duck Donuts. I won't say where.
Oh,
but,
yeah?
They were so
Okay.
good.
Yeah, there's the one that's like halfway between us.
It's been a while
There
since
was that
I've
time I
been-
drove out there and I got there at 6:01 and I knocked on the door and they're like, we're closed. And I'm like, I drove through a freaking blizzard for this.
They had so we used the touchscreen menu there. They had. It's been a while since I've been. No, it's been a while since I've been in an actual Duck Donuts. They had so many more donuts than they've had when I was last there.
I think this one might have more options.
They had one called a Sunrise, which was a lemon and strawberry. It was amazing.
Refreshing.
They had a beach one, which was vanilla icing with cinnamon dusting on top.
Sand.
That was great. They were all great. They were all phenomenal.
I don't think they had. I meant like the other kinds of options, like a breakfast sandwich or
Oh,
ice
yeah,
cream
yeah, yeah,
sandwich.
yeah.
The
Well, I told you.
flavors-
Yeah, I told you about the breakfast sandwich where they put the
Yes, I do want to get that.
Yeah.
I very much want to get that. Did it come to you?
It did. It came back to me. I
Yeah,
guess.
Tom.
Sorry to have more questions about this.
It's a town in the video game.
do? That's all it is, right?
That's
It-
all it is. That's
so it's-
literally the only rule.
So I can't do anything that the characters in the video game can do.
No, it's what town in any video game would you most like to live in? That's it.
How about that the town from Thank You for
No, please don't
I'm
forget
so
the
glad you're
town.
here.
Probably, I don't know. Terrytown, I was gonna say, but if I can't like move like Link can, then like
No.
you're kind of like stuck in that little peninsula. So then I was thinking, well, maybe Zora's Domain, because it's lovely, but yeah, but I'd also want to.
But if you can't go swimming,
if you can't go swimming, and then if I can't, I want to be the Rudo Village, but I'm not a bird, so if I can't fly,
What
I
about
don't know
your
if I wanna
own
do
Animal
that.
Crossing island?
I thought about that as well,
He lives
which
there,
would
he
be
visits every
that
day.
would be really nice too.
Is the cat over there?
no, she just walked out.
Yeah, so I don't know, and I'd want to live in Raccoon City, but
Oh my God.
pre zombie, like, or I guess no zombies. That would be cool.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a tough question.
So many options.
Take this. I'd like to live in. No, I wouldn't. I got nothing else.
Okay, well there you go.
Thanks for waiting.
Earthman, you stole the good one right away, Aaron. That was an amazing answer because that would be great. Like I said, after everything goes down, there's so many great
What
options
about
to live there.
Santa Destroy? There's really nothing there.
Motel. You can work out with that guy. Go to the video rental place.
T-shirts.
T-shirts.
I can't think of any place that like I've played where
Some
I'm like,
spots
I
in
want to live here.
Undertale that I'd like to live in. Like Snowden would be really cool. That's a nice little town. Yeah, it's hard not to think of like, you know, the simple ones. Like you said, Mario. There's so many places
funny.
in Mario you'd want to live in, but
Like I'm just kind of looking at things, but like to exist in a world like oh my god.
Yep.
What's the realm? Forbidden Realm, whatever. like Kirby's one of Kirby's worlds, and like
Dreamland?
all this stuff is
Dreamland.
going on, but like I'm just a human living there,
Yeah.
being like walking through and being
It's like the humans
"Oh,
in New
hey."
Donk City. They got so much
Yeah.
going on around him, but he's in a suit going to work or catching a taxi. Thank you for the question and the Patreon support. Now let's do music.
Oh,
You thought of
There it
something.
is.
He's
Thought
got
of
it.
something.
Go ahead.
I'd want to live in a populated everybody's gone to the Rapture village, which is called Yountain.
Oh.
So I'd like to live in Yountain. But with humans there, not like after the Rapture.
And you said Rapture, and that makes me think of Rapture.
Oh, Rapture
That would be a wild place to live.
that would be cool.
I would love to just.
I'd rather live in Columbia than Rapture, but both really cool.
I don't know that one, but
That's like
the third one, right?
Yeah.
I just because I mean I really love walking around those environments.
that's a really great answer, actually. But I'd want it to be like in its prime before people start killing each other and eating their
Right.
faces.
Right. That's what I was going to say. It's like before,
Preferably.
either that
Preferably.
or completely empty with no, people crawling around going, "We thought we could hide from the light." Like I don't want any of them people.
Those people
you know?
exist in real life.
I know.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for indulging us.
I got music. You want to hear it? You
wanna hear it? Oh.
Is that what I sound like?
Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Go ninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will
Put music in the title. Help out your local
Help.
mom brain. Now let's crush it.
This one comes from Jet Jaguar.
Focus
Focus on
all
what
that. Why is this familiar?
You probably played it. I think you did.
Whimsical.
I know it's not The Sims. I know it's,
It's
not.
not.
But it's got a Sims vibe, but I know it's not. It's familiar, but I can't remember.
Switch.
I got nothing.
Is it that
I can tell you it's not
Nintendo
first party.
Nintendo moving game?
It's not first party.
Okay.
I'm out on this one.
Oh man, you wanted to kill it.
I'm
You
not
got
gonna.
out.
I'm not gonna be able to figure it out. I got no touchstones of anything.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't know.
It's
And I
not a
like
short
it.
hike.
No.
I always feel like
Is
I
it a
have to
long
guess that
walk?
one. Man, that just sounds like Belle and Sebastian.
Are you out?
Yeah, sure.
Are you out? We're out.
It is Golf Story.
I did play that.
Cheeky
I
beak
did play
peek.
that. Damn it.
Next one comes from Wired.
Well, I know this, and I know Dew knows it.
Hairball
You
music.
definitely
What,
know this.
What?
You've heard it so many times. I'm not even joking.
I know.
Is it
I know. It's
Teenage
just-
Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No.
Yeah.
I can't tell
I
if you're doing a
know-
bit or not.
I'm doing a bit. I have
Oh.
no. You're
You-
correct. I'm sure.
Wait.
But I don't
okay.
recognize this. I don't recognize 1 second of this.
It's Vampire Survivor.
It is.
I listen to podcasts with the music off when I play that
okay,
sometimes.
okay.
So
Well,
that's
now you know what
probably,
it sounds like.
probably why.
All right. This one's from Geku Kitsune.
What are you doing here?
We moved a little bit, but it's just, I'm like, what
Oh.
face is that?
Yeah.
I know
Medios.
this. I know this, and this screams first party.
P-Cross.
Why do I know this? All right, come on. Come on.
Is it a puzzle game?
You know first party stuff.
Like a Tetris something?
Not really a puzzle game.
All right, she's confused. So,
Not really a puzzle.
yeah, so there's something to it. Just give me, I'm getting there. This is like, it's like, you're like,
Wii Sports
you're
Resort.
like, no, you're like,
Switch
I don't know how to describe it. You're like
space.
making something.
You sure are.
It's so I don't know how to describe it. It's Nintendo like we're building something music. I don't know.
Pooping? No.
What'd you say? Pooping?
When you said making, and she's like,
No.
"You sure are."
Like I haven't played
like an art house
Garage Game Builder or whatever it's called. It's not that. It's not Nintendo Labo. Oh, I know what it is. It's
Tears of the Kingdom.
Super Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Thank God that part came in. Jesus Christ. That's like
That's
the
right.
Ghost
What is that
House
strap?
music.
That Switch 2 strap. What
It's
is that?
from My Nintendo. They did a
Okay.
thing for points. I
This
had 'em,
is
so I got 'em.
from Jessai.
Oh, it's got that 2000 eras feel.
It also sounds like the soundtrack from Better Off Dead.
Is this
Castlevania.
Pennsylvania.
is this Sega related?
Is it 64?
Is it first party?
I don't think it's first party, and it's
Okay.
not 64. Let me look it up.
Really good. I know it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you played it.
Oh, it's the franchise Greg really likes. Wonder Boy, something like that. Monster Boy, Wonder Boy, Monsterland, Wonder
Monster
Boy.
Boy
Land.
in the Cursed Kingdom.
That's why that.
There you
So
go.
this is
Great
the
music.
Switch? Was this the-
Yeah, Switch.
Was it the one that you can go between? Because I played that.
Go between. Oh,
Go between,
visual styles. I
retro
don't
and
remember if you
modern.
could do it in this one. This is a different one from the one you're thinking about.
Here's one from Nico Darunia.
Shovel Knight.
Yep.
What'd you say?
Shovel Knight.
Wow.
This is I don't remember. This is a great song. This is oddly enough Bert, the guy we were talking about earlier. When he left doing Way Forward music, he went to go do Shovel Knight.
Man.
This has such a Mega Man 2 like Metal Man, Quick Man feel to
I
it.
can feel that.
A lot of the same. There's sound effects in the background that are the same as Metal Man, definitely. It's like ping, crunchy noises. Great song.
All right. This one's from Knock on Wood.
Oh, I think I screwed up everything.
This is
This is first party.
Mario Kart Double Dash.
Nope. Close. It's a lower quality
Mario
audio.
Kart DS.
Yep.
Yes.
Great job.
Yeah, I've screwed up how many we've done. I'm sorry.
Oh, I have
think I put
1,
March
2,
somewhere.
3, 4 left.
One. Oh, well then I'm right. Okay.
This one's from Radical Defect.
Oh my God, why do I know this? This is Game Boy.
It is.
I know this. Why do I know this? Oh, it's associated with something really cool. Is it first party?
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, yes. Oh God. Are you looking at a picture of the
Marble
game?
Madness.
It's not
you.
Marvel Madness. I'm watching the game being played.
Okay, it's something about like a wireframe ship, like a spaceship.
Maybe.
It's like flying.
Sure.
Okay. Can't remember the name of the game.
Wireframe? Like, what is it? Like Atari?
For 10 polygons. It's on the Game Boy, so they were like, it's supposed to make it look like it has polygons, but it's the wireframe model for where polygons would fit in.
Right.
I don't remember the name of the game, and I know it's going to be that game. Are you looking at the developer? Can you see that anywhere? Because it's Nintendo and it's Argonaut.
Shopping with your parents.
Sorry.
Shopping with my parents.
Man, you were way off.
The game was Shopping with my parents.
Yeah, developers Nintendo and Argonaut.
See, I know the damn game and I can't think of the name.
Nintendo did it?
I don't even think it released here. I think it might have been only
Only in
only
Japan.
Japan. Yeah, son of a bitch. I can't remember. And I know it's a really simple name. It's like a like
Mole
really.
Mania.
I'll give it to you.
No,
Ship?
I'll take a 0.5.
You know what it is.
I'll take a 0.5. I couldn't get the name.
Is it a futuristic name?
Um,
How many letters are in the name?
1.
A.
No, it's
B.
X.
X.
Yeah, exactly. It's because you said that futuristic one letter. I was like, what's his face?
Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I thought.
Oh.
Gross.
So wait, so I get it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait
my
a minute,
God,
You
that's
and
great.
Nicky Hill get it.
Wait a minute.
We got there.
Can Nintendo sue him?
Probably.
the
Let's
name?
hope. Let's hope.
I don't think they
Nintendo.
had it for a game, not for a social media platform. Crap.
Okay, this one's from Freddie Fro.
Oh, I played this. This is on Switch. This is the black and white game that's
Yeah.
like Zelda, but
Yep.
I used to always get the name wrong because I would think of The Price is Right, but why?
Yep. That makes sense.
What game?
Yep.
It's
Wait, Switch?
No. It's now I don't know which one. It's Master Key or Master Lock, and I don't remember which one. It's
Hole in
one of
one or
those,
two.
right?
Well, one is the Price is Right game. And
Yeah,
One is
but
the
one of those is the right name.
Yeah.
So then it's Master Key,
Yes.
because that makes more sense than Master of Lock because that's a brand name.
Yes. Master Key.
That was a really good game. That was a really good game. I don't think a lot of people paid attention to that one.
This one's from Mikey3319.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors?
No.
I know this.
You sure do.
Luigi's Mansion.
Is it first party?
It is not Luigi's Mansion. I don't think it's first party.
Oh, it's gonna get really cool. Oh, I know it because I never played it, and it's that amazing guy. It's Plock.
It is Block.
This guy makes some music, man. This
This
sounds
isn't- you sure this
nothing
isn't-
like the Super Nintendo.
Sure this isn't from the Matrix?
Oh no,
or
wait, the guy just started laughing. Man, it's such a cool song. Talk about a boss fight. Oh, okay. No, go ahead. You're right. We're
The last
late.
song for the week comes
Did
from Rosemary the Farmer.
Pluck.
Oh,
Pluck. P-L-O-K.
I don't know why I thought that was the name of the composer because you were like, it's that guy.
Makes
Plock.
sense. No,
And I was
Pluck.
like, Plock.
Plock is the
Better
game
not open my mouth and sound
Clock,
stupid.
Vert.
He's right.
It's as loud as I can make it.
Well, I hear nothing.
Is that it?
I literally don't hear anything. Oh. Can you fast forward a bit?
Kingdom Hearts.
No.
It's an RPG.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Doesn't. I mean, it doesn't not.
It's like
sound
a
an
story. It's like a
RPG.
key story point.
Listen,
Story
I can't
moment.
explain things because it's just stuff that clicks in my head. This sounds RPG-esque, but I would say it's not an RPG.
I don't believe it is.
All right, so we have real instruments, which isn't as rare nowadays, but it is a Nintendo system.
Nier Automata.
No.
Persona 5.
No.
Pokemon.
No.
Smash Bros.
Okay, this has to be tied to Zelda
It is.
because it's got piano stuff. So then it's one of the Hyrule Warriors games. I don't know.
Age
The,
of
the
Calamity.
piano's there.
He
I
got
don't know.
there. He got there. I'm not
What
even.
one was it?
We're not. I'm not including.
Hyrule
it.
Warriors Age of Calamity.
We just had
Got
that.
that new one coming out on Switch too. Well, that's good because I didn't get it last time. But I
Well, we
it
got
this
there
time.
this time.
This because it had the piano. 8 out of
I'm
10.
sorry. There's no what. How does piano become Zelda? It wasn't first party.
The same piano that you hear in Breath of the
Oh,
Wild
okay.
is used in there. It's not the same tune,
So it's
but
the same
style
sound.
of
So like
yeah.
if you hear, like if we were to hear a song and we're like, oh, that guitar sounds like Steve Miller.
Yes,
Like a
yes.
Steve Miller riff or an
Yes.
Eric Clapton.
Because like
Okay.
piano is like the music in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is very
Oh,
different from other Zelda games,
Well, if
and
you
the
would
the
pick up on that
signature
stuff,
instrument in
yeah,
those
okay.
games is piano. So
Well, I'm just fascinated. I think along with you, Nicky Hill, where when I first heard that, I was like, "Oh, this is definitely an RPG," and you just were just like, "No, it's not. I can't explain why." And we didn't hear the piano at that point. You were just like, "It's not," and I know why, and I can't. It's in my head, and that's it.
I really
and then
can't tell
once
you.
you heard the piano, and then you were like, "Oh, it's that."
It sounds horrible, but the best way I can say it is for that example is it didn't sound Japanese enough. I can't explain it any better than that. It didn't sound Japanese enough.
Which is strange because it's like a Japanese game.
Anyways.
Yeah, but like in Japanese RPG style, it didn't sound that way enough for me. Like I don't know. Like they have like very slow, melodic, very few instruments, or very hyper, crazy electric guitar.
And like a chick singing or something.
There will usually be somebody singing, but like Xenoblade is a great example because that's got both of those and other stuff. But that soundtrack is so huge.
That's where I was
Xenoblade's got
thinking.
its own kind of feeling that I don't know. The same composer's done all the Xenoblade games, so like I know
Again, their
his style.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would-
or
I
if
would
like
love-
if you hear something and you're like, "Oh, that's John Williams." Like that's
Yeah.
the range that John Williams always composes in.
Yeah.
I
you
would
know.
love to get this game show going, man. I want because I want to know who could take you on because there's people
there's
in the
people
world
can
that
do it better.
are
Yeah,
so
definitely.
good. I would be
the
fascinated to
game
watch
show?
because
Name
I
that
can
tune.
watch you every week and be
Game whatever.
fascinated.
Yeah, there's definitely people who could do it better. I'd like to think I could put up a fight, but I don't know.
You guys were talking about old game shows last week, was it?
Yes, all the time.
What I would love to bring back is Wild and Crazy Kids. I would love to just
Kids
have
are still wild and
Yeah.
crazy.
We
have
all
just a
want
Oh,
that
stupid.
God,
back.
this is
We all
happening
do.
so much.
That's a good one.
It's happening so much lately. There's
Crazy.
been like 4
wild.
conversations in this week alone where Dew has heard about shows on
Oh,
cable that
he
he has
doesn't
no idea.
want it.
We were talking about Alex Mack. We were talking about Legends
Wait,
of the
you
Hidden
don't know
Temple. We were
Wild
talking
and
about
Crazy Kids?
Guts.
Well, did you have Nickelodeon?
Oh God, don't do that to
No,
him.
I didn't. We
No,
didn't.
I mean,
I didn't have
Wait,
cable
you're doing this
growing up.
serious?
I was at yeah.
This is a very sore point for him.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
It's okay. I didn't have cable as a kid, so like all this Nickelodeon stuff, I'd never even
wow.
heard of. So when they were talking about Alex Mack, I was like trying to be like we were
I
playing
don't
Fortnite.
know.
They're
I
talking
don't
about
know
Alex
Alex
Mack,
Mack.
and I was just like, yeah, I love that guy. That guy was great. You know, like,
Oh, that's my favorite. My favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption. Get busy living, or get busy dying from Last Man on Earth.
quality of death.
And that's it. We're done. That's all we got.
Oh,
All right, have a good week, everybody. Hey, it's Memorial Day. If you
I'm a
are
Memorial Day.
in the States,
you know,
That's a
we
thing.
would all love to end this podcast, but we just couldn't do it without a little something special. Deux Views. It's never news.
Oh,
Rumor of the week.
Mom Brain with another banger. Blinded. That's what we were talking about
Oh.
with Alex Mack. That we all had a crush on her. Yeah, Alex Mack. Alex was her first name Alex.
Wow, these are cool.
What was the actress's name? I know her last name started with an O, and it was like a J.
Larissa
and a
Larissa
L.
Olenek.
There you go. Big
And
crush.
I
on
never
her.
watched the show. I
Oh,
only
I
know
did.
that because
I
of
watched every episode.
Beatbox, or what his name was on this. I don't know.
Bebop.
Blockbox.
Yes, that's one of the people I was talking about it with.
Beatbox?
Sorry, dude. Go ahead.
No problem. This rumor can't be contained any longer, so I'm glad you're giving me the floor here. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, my spiders and my flies go all around the video game world on the internet, and they find rumors that nobody else has.
Oh, it is starring Drew Michaels.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was starring.
Oh, yeah. And then I tell you what these rumors are, and then we all talk about them because it's so exciting to have rumors before anybody else has them. There is a note here on this particular rumor. For some reason, we're doing something new with the rumor of the week. It's true.
Oh my God.
Yes. This is actually a true story. So normally normally the rumors, but this is actually news coming straight to you before anyone else has it. So this is
What a treat.
definitely listen to this because this is a good one.
Breaking
and it's
news.
real.
Definitely listen to this.
So we talked about Miyamoto earlier today and how he made a statement saying that he's trying to grow the Pikmin franchise to the next level. Well, what he's doing here is he's helping make the new Pikmin game open world like the new Mario Kart game's gonna be. So what he's been doing, personally, Miyamoto-san has been going around the world like Johnny Appleseed. He's been planting a new species of plant that he created in a lab. He calls this species Pikmin. And he's planting these Pikmin all over the world. Yeah, he's doing this. And it says here that players will then use Pikmin Bloom to find these flowers in real life, or these Pikmin, and pick them. And it's also going to be linked with, actually, they're bringing back Nintendo Labo for this. And there's going to be a Nintendo Labo that you fold into a little cardboard box, and you put your flowers in it. You put your Pikmin in as you go around.
Oh my god, this
So,
is so cool.
yeah,
I thought you're going to fold it into a little terrarium for the Pikmin, but this is just a
box.
box for
No,
flowers.
just a box. Yep, you might say you have one at home if you save your boxes.
A box.
I need the Nintendo branded box.
A box made out of cardboard. Never before
That's right.
seen.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
Well,
very,
listen, this
very
one-
do you
creative.
have to fold it yourself?
This one says
No.
Nintendo Labo on it, so
Yeah.
it's very.
And you have to fold it up yourself.
That's
It
right.
takes 4 hours to
you
fold
need
it.
the Switch to put it together. Yeah,
So
this is incredible. This is
that's
one of my
exciting.
favorite true stories I've ever heard.
so all you Olimars and Louis out there, get ready.
Omar. And that's it, everybody. That's all we got. 2 more weeks till the Switch 2, people. Really, a week and a half, really. Oh, remember, if you still need a Switch 2
And
you didn't get a
remember-
pre-order, you have GameStop. Go to GameStop on June 4th at 3 p.m. They will have launch day that they are keeping for launch people, but you can pre-order it the night before launch at 3 p.m. If you miss out on that or you don't have a GameStop, you have Target, which will have day one stock because they didn't take pre-orders for in-store. So you are guaranteed to have a chance there. And Costco is the same. They did not take pre-orders. They will have day one stock. Costco will give you a Switch 2 Mario Kart World bundle with 12 months of Switch Online with an expansion pack for $525, which is $25 cheaper than what it usually would be. And they're selling Pro controllers for $75, which is $10 cheaper than it is everywhere else. So you have 3 options: Costco, GameStop, Target. Best of luck. But again, you got a week and a half, so just prepare. But that's what we got. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
What were you sighing about? A little bit of
I
extra,
want a
little bit.
controller,
Yes.
but I don't know if I want to deal with lines at Costco.
Well, you're gonna have to make a decision. Go to GameStop.
Because you would think Costco is a membership only thing, so that like you have a better chance of getting in. But Costco folks are nuts, huh?
Are they nuts for Switch 2?
It's like Angela
They're-
just sent
they're
us
crazy.
a picture of like people waiting outside for Costco to open like 20 minutes
Yeah.
before it opens.
Yeah.
Just line up out there.
They're
You did?
they're
When?
crazy,
Forever ago.
and they're also they're crafty. You know, I don't question that there's people who are going to go. Costco puts a limit on things, how many things you can buy, but I don't question that people are going to go and buy things to sell them again. You know what I mean? So like
are
that
you saying you're giving up already?
well, that's my thing.
In a nutshell.
Okay.
I'll try it. I'll try it.
I'd say you'd probably have the best shot at Costco because I don't know how many people would traditionally think, "Oh, Costco launched a game system." Like
Yeah.
I think between
Except
that,
if you
Target
have a
and GameStop.
membership, if you have a membership, I'm sure they're going to be putting out an email, and then everybody's going to get that info.
Yeah, my information comes from Wario64, who has his inside information, but
Right.
it's good. It's legit. So
Yeah.
it's a shot. 3 chances for those who don't have them. But yes, and I think you would have a better shot at getting
But
a Pro controller in general. Like I don't think
GameStop
GameStop
is
power
doing
to
a
the
midnight
players.
launch. Like you can get them in store at midnight, right?
You can go 3 p.m. June 4th to say
pre-order.
I want one of the ones that wasn't pre-ordered, and they will put you in, and then you can return later at midnight to pick it up. Yes.
Right.
You cannot show up at midnight and be like, I want one of those ones you didn't pre-order. They're going to
Oh.
be done. Probably.
Right.
Maybe somebody will
There's a
get
good
lucky,
chance,
but
yeah.
and then Target again, no in-store pre-order, so you just walk up and buy one.
Right.
I've heard roughly 30 units for Targets. Depends on your Target and where you live, but more or less 30. And then Costco, no idea how many. But Pro controller specifically, you should have a pretty damn good shot at getting that.
Yeah.
It's not like the Switch 2 itself. So yeah, I'd say
So this is
Costco-
$5 off. That's not
$10.
$10 off.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
if you
bad.
want to pre-order Donkey Kong Bonanza there or pre-purchase it, it's $62 instead of
I don't know how
$70.
you do that
I don't know. I've never done it, but they're offering it.
right now
No, not yet.
when it comes out.
I think when Switch 2 comes out.
Right.
But it will be 62 or $63 there instead of 70.
Great. Here we go. I'm going to start spending money on another system that I'm going to minimally play. Let's do it.
Well, Clubhouse Games is getting a big update for Switch 2.
I am getting
A boner.
a little bit of anxiety
No.
because the whole switching my Switch over to Switch 2. Well, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I might
So,
just hang on to the Switch. Be one
Easier
of
than
those
ever,
guys.
and you're having anxiety about it. You can do it right now. You can prepare right now.
I have a
But I don't have a Switch 2.
I have
You
a
don't need
question
it.
for you.
You
Um,
upload your stuff to the cloud. It's done. They have a specific thing set up. You can
Yeah.
do it right now.
Are you gonna do that?
You're going to keep your
Am I going to
Switch.
transfer my system to the Switch 2? My Switch to Switch 2? Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So you won't be using the Switch moving forward.
Don't think so. No.
You're going to keep
Okay.
it though?
Probably going to keep it. Yeah, unless somebody is like really hard up for one. I'm not going to trade it in. Or anything.
Now,
No.
if I were to keep my Switch and also have a Switch 2, just because I'm going to keep the Switch, so why not?
Yeah.
Will I have to pay for Nintendo Switch Online twice?
No.
I can just sign in, and wherever I'm signed in, it's fine on the Switch or Switch 2.
Yeah, but I don't. When you transfer from your Switch to your Switch 2, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I don't know if it's like, okay, you're deactivating this system and it's a nothing system. I don't know. The thing's online. You can go look, but I don't know off the top of my head. But like, you would just be transferring everything from your Switch over to the Switch 2 anyway. So,
But I'm saying, what if I didn't transfer it? What if I kept everything on my Switch as it is, and I was like, I'm going to start fresh with the Switch 2, and I'll just have them both hooked up because I got two HDMI points.
No, it's a singular Nintendo account. You should be fine. I don't know. You would just sign in. I don't think it would deactivate the other. That wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, you should be fine. I haven't
I'm
read
bringing both-
anything or seen anything from Nintendo that says otherwise.
I'm bringing them both here. I'm going to do it here. Also, next week, not next week, 2 weeks from now, you're anticipating a late in the middle of the night podcast.
Yeah.
If I'm around.
Well,
if
I
I'm
can't
not-
tell you what time it will be, but
if I'm not working,
I'll let you know.
Oh.
I mean, it's going to be like I said, that Friday is Summer Games Fest, which is the
Yeah.
biggest of all of them, and something else. I think it might be three things. It's Day of the Devs. That's the other one. And then there's something else. So it's going to be like a 4-hour block of
I
garbage.
can't believe
And
we're
I
already
think there's
into
something
it.
else. And then whatever time at night I'm done covering all that, whenever that is, because the next day is Wholesome Games, which is usually very Nintendo heavy. And I want to say there's two other things. It's like, yeah, it's the goddamn Future Game Show and something. It's like horrendous. So Saturday, I have no chance of doing the podcast. And then Sunday is Microsoft and something else.
When's Sony? Sony going to do one where they're going to?
Sony hasn't officially announced anything yet. There's speculation that they're not going to do their regular PlayStation 5 big E3 thing. It's going to be a state of play, which is a smaller thing. So when
I hear they're going to publicly apologize to everyone for Last of Us 2 Season 2.
Usually Sony goes
I haven't
first,
seen the most
and
recent.
then Microsoft
so-
goes on Monday or Sunday. I don't know what's going on with Sony yet. So probably because they haven't announced it, it'll be something funky. And then Nintendo hasn't announced anything yet because who knows what Nintendo does.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a nightmare, but I can let you know. I won't know until probably a couple hours before, but I'll let you know. All right, everybody, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games, rest, relax, hang out with friends and family. You deserve it, and we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. And that's
That was a bit smooth.